Before we start this episode, this podcast is sponsored by Phoenix Freshest. All your vintage needs, from hats to beanies to pullovers to windbreakers to vintage shirts to sneakers, as well as refurbishing if you got any old shoes or you got any old hats. He also provides those services as well, Phoenix Freshest. Check them out. This podcast is also sponsored by Emperor Supply Co. If you're looking for a premium pomade, they got you. If you're looking for some beard oil, they got you. They also got merch, so go check them out. They're all out of the IE, where I'm from. Men, get right. Go check out their page. Ladies, get your men right. Go check out the page. Emperor Supply Co. Enjoy the episode. Alright. 3, 2, 1. And we're live. Welcome to another episode of Dad Knows Best Podcast. I'm your host, Rob Vega, a.k.a. Robberryy, a.k.a. Dad. Before we continue, can you guys please like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends? We'd all really appreciate it. Back to the show. We got a first-timer in here. We got Gian in here.
What's up, what's up?
What up, man? How's it going?
Good, bro. Just chilling right now.
Just chilling right now. It's like... This is... I mean, from the first time I met you, I thought really highly of you. You know what I mean? And...
Good looking out, Dougie, but same here, bro. I looked like, all right, this was... He's chill, you know what I mean? You got good energy. That's what it is. Appreciate
that. And I think the first time we met, we were at Evo's house. You're Evo's cousin, for people who don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first time we met. We were in his kitchen. We were rolling a blunt, smoking in there. And then we just started talking about, like, life.
Yeah, bro. And that's exactly why I was like, damn, all right. Because most people, bro, like, my homies and shit, like, I chop it up like that with them. But not really just off the bat. You know what I mean? But, like, we're just chilling off the bat. And we just got into it. Randomly. Not even on no, like, planned shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, all right, this was like, he's got good energy and shit.
And, like, it's crazy because I feel like, first of all, I guess... I would say that it's rare for me to find someone that's on that same vibe. So then as soon as I see it, I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I was going to say he's one of me or one of us in a sense. Or like, I don't know. I guess in that sense where, I mean, because people might not know what I mean by that. And I guess like, life regarding God, regarding faith, regarding phases in life, regarding lessons, just shit like that, you know? And it's weird because I feel like that's something I think about on the daily. And I think as soon as... And I feel like people like me and you are kind of on that same shit where it's like we probably think about that on the daily. Our routine includes a lot of like healthy...
thinking.
Yeah.
Just thinking... in a good way. Positive thinking, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I would say, productive thinking. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it was a trip because I would, like, I mean, Evo had always said, like, dude, we need to get this fool on the podcast. And I was always with it. Like, the way that you explain life to me, you know, in your video game way.
Yeah,
and, you know, and it was a trip because it is set, like, I didn't forget about it, you know? And I'm just like... the way I defined you, I'm not trying to blow smoke either. You know, I feel like me and you could be extremely
genuine,
platonic and genuine for sure. And I feel like one of the things that the way that I described you as is like, oh, like he's one of the chosen ones. And I definitely feel like there's a lot of people, or a few people in this world that are that way. And I guess the way I'm defining that is like just having like this insane intuition. You know?
Damn, for sure on that, bro. Because it's just like when you kind of like, let's just say like about God, right? Like fucking when you feel, I'm not even saying I'm right, but when you feel that you're on a path or that like, okay, you learn something and like, okay, it starts working for you, you're just like, oh fuck, like maybe I'm right about this, or just because it's working for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily work for everybody.
Yeah,
doesn't mean that I push my beliefs on everybody and this is why it's gonna work for you.
Right,
nothing like that.
Yeah,
but just like that's why like when we chopped it up, we're just chopping it up randomly. You know, it's not like we were like, hey, do you believe in? I think you asked me, you were like, hey, do you believe in God?
Right,
bro. I don't think really, bro, I've ever had people ask me that, like just that question,
right?
Which is a trip because to me that's that's something that we should all talk about.
Right.
Not in no fucking like religious way.
Right.
Just how do you think?
Yeah.
You know
How do you
what I mean?
feel about the topic, right?
And fucking, I feel like a lot of people get uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
Or they feel like, oh, this person's gonna try to change my mind. It's like, nah, I just want to know how you think. And it's
Yeah.
like, we just start chopping it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this fool thinks how I think in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily we link up and like, we think the exact same way. Nah, but it's like, oh, you think of life in certain terms. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people just fucking drift.
I agree.
You know what I mean? They're
I
just
agree.
like fucking whatever happens. And
Yeah.
in my head, bro, like most of my life, bro, I've always been like, whatever your situation is, whether
Yeah.
you're down or up, whatever, bro, it's like you just always look like it's gonna get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
As fucked up as you can be, whatever, bro, it's always like, why think that way? Why think that it's only gonna be this way?
Right. Right.
Like, bro, like so many people just stay down on themselves. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
I guess they kind of fail to see the future, right? In a sense. And I guess it's hard for young people to see that, right? Because I feel like a lot of hardships for a lot of young people, it's like the first time they've been through something.
Yeah.
They maybe they don't ever feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel in a sense, right? I guess
yeah, for sure,
there's that doubt. They're just like, it's never going to be as good as it was, or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? And for me, I mean, I feel like everyone at some point used to think that way, as I'm one of them. But it's interesting because now the way that I combat that emotion and those thoughts is I have faith.
Bro, exactly.
That it could get better, or I could get better and better than it was.
Exactly, bro. How you said doubt, right? Everybody's got doubts, and I've always had doubts, right? My whole life, bro.
Yeah.
But the thing is, bro, every doubt I've ever had, at the end of that thought, bro, I've always been like, well, God's got me.
Yeah.
Literally, I'll be tripping on whatever the fuck it could be, bro, and I'll be like, well, you got faith? I'm like, okay, then you're gonna be fine.
Right.
And if you think otherwise, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why anyone would think otherwise.
Right.
Because then you're just gonna be down, and then what? So then, I don't know how people could just see that and that's it.
Right.
I don't know. That's a trip.
I mean, in a sense, you're kind of just being you're being pessimistic almost, right?
Yeah.
And one thing I learned, I mean, we were kind of talking a little bit off air, was the fact that, and actually somebody told me that their sibling was having an issue with their emotions and how they were feeling about certain things. And what my friend was telling their sibling was be proactive about your life. So if you're not feeling good, wake up, go clean your room, go work out, start eating healthier. Maybe that's why you feel like shit. You're eating like shit or whatever. I mean, there's a combination of a lot of things, right? And then what his sibling told her is something that I used to think myself. And what he said was, yeah, but I feel like I'm faking it. I feel like I'm faking being happy. And it's I don't think that's productive. That's what the sibling was saying, right? And it's crazy because I used to think the same thing. And I even had a buddy of mine bring it to my attention as well. Bro, I just feel like I'm faking it. This isn't really helping me. I'm just masking it, right? And so, but if you really break it down, you don't really have that many options. Either you can loathe and you can feel sorry for yourself and sit back and just say fuck life and this and that, or you can start trying to be proactive about it and be healthy in a sense where it's I don't feel good right now, but let me build a routine, stick to that, and then one day I'll wake up and the pain isn't as bad as it was.
It's just putting your best foot forward. You know what I mean? Just whatever. Even if it, that saying is true, bro. You fake it till you make it. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm no fake bullshit.
Right.
Just fucking just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Though I guess the way that I would define it is making the best of the situation that you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you're not really faking it. You're just making the best of what you have right now. And what options do you really have? You either have this, or you could just sit back and feel sorry for yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, I learned that eventually, but it was a trip how I used to think that way and I forgot about it. And then when when my friend told me that their sibling was dealing with that and was saying those types of things, it kind of brought me back to that. And I'm just that's interesting. And I'm how did I combat it? And the way I just changed my perspective on being proactive about feeling like shit. You know,
Yeah,
because
bro.
some days you wake up and you don't feel good, but you got to stick to your routine.
See,
You know,
change
or
your
take a or take a day break. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah,
take
for sure.
take you know like take a what is it, like a mental health day?
What the fuck is it called? The sabbatical or whatever the fuck. Just like take a break. Just try to figure it out. Even
Yeah.
if it's like you're sulking or whatever, bro. Just take your time. Take the time you need. But at the end of it, realize, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I doing during this time to get better from when I'm gonna start?
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Like, just
exactly.
fucking
And
figure it out.
I also think like it's important to learn how to recharge in a healthy way, cope in a healthy way, and like identifying what that is for you, because I do believe it. Everyone's different, right? And
Yeah,
how
yeah.
they cope with shit, and like sometimes it's not healthy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I
for
feel
sure, for
like
sure.
identifying what that is in a healthy way is probably like gonna be like the game changer. Whereas you feel like shit and you're digging yourself into a deeper hole, rather than you feeling like shit and you're maintaining. Once you feel better, you can progress now, you know?
See, I think that's where like faith or whatever people believe in, or well, technically God for me, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're feeling any type of way or you're down or what, if you have something to help you up, it's not even fake. Like let's say some people can be like, oh, that's
Yeah.
fake or whatever, right?
Right.
It's like, okay, if it's fake but it's working, why would I ignore it? Like
Yeah.
Like
Right.
there's so many times where like people, I've had many conversations with friends who are, you know, fucking what are they called, fucking atheists,
Right.
and they tell me the reasons why they feel that way and
Yeah.
why they came to that conclusion and
Right.
everything, right? And I hear everybody out, and that doesn't mean they're gonna change my mind, or I'm even trying to change their mind.
Yeah.
In my eyes, though, like it sticks out because I heard a Kendrick Lamar quote one time, or
Mhm.
yeah, it was Kendrick Lamar. And he's all like, I'd rather live my whole life believing in God and then finding out he doesn't exist
Yeah.
than live my whole life not believing in him and then find out he exists.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Oh,
I remember that line.
See, and I'm like, that's a trip because, okay, let's say my beliefs or whatever I believe in, right? It's only helping me try to be a better person.
Right.
And I'm trying to, like, project that to other people, too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a dick or fucking,
Right.
you know, ruin anybody's day or whatever.
Mhm.
So fucking... why would I live my life being pessimistic and being like, that doesn't work. That's not real.
Right.
And what? And then at the end of it, fucking, what did I gain from that? Nothing.
Yeah,
Other than just
exactly.
being down,
Right.
on yourself or other people.
Exactly. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because like the way that you see your belief is, your intent on your belief is good.
Yeah.
It's not to push on anyone else or anything like that. It's just that's what works for you, and you know, and your intent is good, right? So I had a homegirl, shout out Mallory. She actually helped me a lot in my rock bottom situation during COVID. Like we were talking a lot about God. She actually like speaks at her church, at her
Dope.
Christian church. Yeah.
Sure.
So like we still talk and we keep in touch. But one thing that she couldn't wrap her head around was the fact that like she didn't. I mean, it didn't bother her, but she wanted to really know. She was questioning me as far as like, who is the Virgin Mary, and like, why do you guys pray to her? You know, like, why don't you just pray to God? You know what I'm saying? And so, as a Catholic, which I'll get into as far as my beliefs on Catholicism, in a second, but the way that we see the Virgin Mary is like, she's like the mother of the gods, mother of Jesus, right? So she's like more lenient. That's kind of how my family's described her, and like how we see her, right? And so the prayers that he's not answering, she might be able to push through in a sense, right? Kind of. I might be explaining it extremely choppy, but that's the idea,
Yeah,
right? And so and she's all like, yeah, but then why don't you just pray straight to God? And I explained that to her, and she's like, okay. And I'm all like, but I mean, here's the thing though, like the way that we see the Virgin Mary is in a positive light, right? And so when I do my daily prayers, you know, the Hail Mary is one of them, right? And so I'm looking at her as like a positive in my life, like as a positive figure.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether you believe she's real or not, and no shade, because she was just curious, asking questions. I'm just saying, like, whether she believes that or not, or whatever the case is, it's like, it helped me even define how other people believe in different religions.
Yeah.
You know, like the dudes that come to the door with Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons. Like I don't agree with the way that they live, but it's like for them, it's their intent is out of positivity.
For sure.
So it's like, why would I question what they're doing? It's like when they're just trying to live a good life.
Oh, bro, like, if anything, like, I try to fucking learn from the Quran and fucking from anybody, a Muslim, fucking a Hindu person. Because everybody's books got something to offer. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean, like, bro, I'm Christian, right, technically.
Yeah.
But, like, in a sense, bro, like, I don't really believe in churches and shit like that. Because... Just because my personal... See, this isn't to push onto anybody. You know what I mean? This is why I came to my conclusion.
Yeah.
Because, like, even... let's say the Virgin Mary, right? I've had that even discussion with myself and other people, right?
Yeah.
Where they're like, why do they pray to the Virgin Mary? Or at the end of the day, this is what I come down to, right? I'm like, why do you have to worry to any... Like, the person questioning that...
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with you, right? But at the end of the day, somebody else could tell you the same things. Like, why do you pray to Jesus?
Right, yeah.
You know, it's Allah. That's the real God.
Right.
Whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah,
so everybody's got their own personal beliefs, but at the end of the day, what I take away from my religious studies or my spiritual studies or whatever you want to call it, is that it always comes down to this, bro. Even with any issues that people disagree with, fucking just any issues religious wise, you know what I mean? It comes down to me is like, okay, the only person that could judge you is God. Well, in my book, right?
Right.
So who the fuck am I, a person, to judge another person?
Right.
Like that. So at the end of the day, that's why when I talk about my beliefs to anybody, or like when we're just chopping it up with whoever is talking about it, it's at the end of the day, it's gonna be like, I don't judge anybody. Yeah. Because that's not my place. Right. Even if I think you're wrong or whatever. Yeah. I'm not the fucking judge and jury. Right. So that's how I see it. But it's like, even like, what was I gonna say? Even with like Virgin Mary, right? Right. How people say, in Christian, I think a lot of them, even though there's crosses that they sell at the stores and shit too. Yeah. A lot of times they're like, why you wear a cross? Like, that has no power. It has no. But I have a cross in my car. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that I pray to the cross or whatever. I'm not saying it holds nothing. But in my eyes, it's almost like fucking a reminder. Right. So it's like, I'm just using it to serve for me as a reminder. Right. That doesn't mean I believe this cross is gonna help me and it's gonna protect me. I believe God's protecting me already. Yeah. If that's my faith, then I don't have to fucking worry about nothing. Yeah. If I die today, I die today. That was in my book. That's what was supposed to happen. Right. I agree, and that's how I see it too. And that's the thing. Like, it's interesting. Like, one thing that, like, how, like, see, that's what faith is right there. Like, I truly believe that God is watching over me as well, and so whatever happens to me, He's allowing. That's how I see it, right? Yeah. So if I died today, it's like, it is what it is. It's what He allowed. One thing that I think about sometimes is like Nipsey's situation. Like, I think about that all the time because, like, he was great. And, like, he almost couldn't even really, like, enjoy it. I feel like he worked his ass off so hard to get to... Right. Yeah. And, like, enjoy it. Exactly. And the thing is, like, I mean, he became a legend, but the thing is like, I want him, like, you want him to so bad to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Like, he had such a ride or die woman when in a society we don't even have those anymore. You know what I mean? Or they're very hard to come by, you know? And so it's like, I don't question God about it. I just think about it a lot. See, even with that specific situation, like Nipsey, right? Like, he's always talked about so many things, bro, like, that led up to whatever led up to, right? But in his music, he left all his messages, and it wasn't like let's say he dies, right? Yeah. I don't think he would be like, I regret what I did in my life. Right. Every single day he lived up to that point, he worked towards what he got. Right. And if he believes in God, well, he believes in God. Yeah. He talked about it on his music all the time. Yeah. I think he has God Will Rise on the side of his head. Yeah, right? That's right. Yeah. So fucking, like, his faith, whatever happened to him would happen to him, but he left his message for many people, myself included, to take away from that. And, like, even like Tupac, bro, Tupac said, like, if I don't fucking change the world, like, he'll be the one to spark the mind that changes the world. Right. Plant that seed. Exactly. So it's like, there's so many seeds already, bro, that Nipsey, Kendrick, Tupac, like, all these people that like, bro, even with music, bro, like, those people, that helped solidify my faith, bro. Mm-hmm. Right. You know, that's funny because you're right. There is a big correlation. I mean, I'm the only child, so for me growing up, I really, like, gravitated to music. Like, that was my shit, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's even some friends that and in high school, they would come up to me like, dude, you always got headphones in your head. Like, every time I see you, you always got your iPod on. Like,
Why are you always just tuned out? You know what I'm saying? But it was just my shit. But you're right. There is a correlation where, like, the way that they talked about God in their music, depending on what type of music you listen to, they kind of maybe define a little bit how you see God and how you have faith in God,
bro,
right?
And it's a trip because even today, bro, I was thinking about it. Like, a couple bands, even hardcore bands and fucking, like, just crazy, like, hardcore shit. You know, like, As I Lay Dying, fucking Under Oath, The Devil Wears Prada.
Right.
All those bands... POD too, bro. Like, all these bands that I would listen to their lyrics. I just like the music, right? But when you listen to their lyrics and shit, like, that shit will resonate with me because it'd be like, it was a lot of faith-based shit. And they're all Christian bands. All of those bands are Christian bands.
Right. I didn't know that until like a couple years ago.
Exactly.
Which is a trip.
And even a lot of those bands now, they even say like, hey, we just make music. Like, we kind of like, we don't want to fucking
push
to a certain group of people. We want to make music for everybody. This is our faith, but our music's applied to everybody.
Got it, yeah.
But either way, the way I interpret it, right, solidifies my faith. Because it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not, right, or you believe in God or not.
Right.
But those words, like that's a spirit in my eyes. Like, that, however you take it, whatever you take from from music, art, movies.
Yeah.
Whatever connects with you, and if you could relate it back or relates to in you somehow, like to faith or whatever, like, why not use that? Or it's just fuel for me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right, because it is some sort of like way to, like, I mean, it's weird. It's funny, somebody who made that correlation, who I respect very much, and it was a trip because my parents really loved his music growing up. I loved his music. He's one of the greatest of all time, maybe ever. Was when Kanye was referring to himself as God, and like, we're all God, you know. And the way that I saw his music, like, he would push me to like want to be that God figure, even before he even like started saying all that with Yeezus. When that album dropped with Yeezus, like, I remember like when Dark Twisted Fantasy came out, I think I don't know if it was a quote from that album or just in general, he's like, I make music so that like, look what Kanye's doing. Like, I want to be like Kanye, and he tells us like I make this music so because I'm like you can be me. You know what I'm saying? And then he's all like, I am God. Like, I am in the, what is it? I am the.
He's capable.
Well, capable, but he's like, I am the not the virgin, but like, how did he say? Like, I am a mere image of God, right?
And
so
we were made in his image, if you believe that, right? So,
which I do. So when I heard that, it empowered me even more. And so what's interesting about Ye is like, his music isn't about God, but clearly you can see that, you know, he's God driven. And so it's cool because maybe, you know, his music, like I said, growing up has been some of my favorite, and maybe like because he's God driven, I don't know, in some way there's just that connection where, like, you know, I feel that greatness, and maybe it had a lot to do with God.
Bro, just Kanye specifically, even that, like, two things on that. Like, fucking, when he put the I Am God song out, I was conflicted because I was like, I don't want to say that shit. But then at the same time, I'm like, okay, this is how I thought about it again. I was like, okay, this was making music. He's an artist, right?
Right.
And I was like, that's his interpretation. That's what the message he's putting out.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I fuck with that song. And even with the message, because it's like, he's just trying to tell you, like, look, don't think low of yourself.
Right,
you know what
I mean?
Right. But I interpreted it after the fact. I was like, I'm too fucking into thinking of, like, blasphemy, that type of shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm not God to judge him.
Right.
So that in my eyes, God made Kanye, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, God's gonna judge Kanye. I'm not saying he's gonna judge him bad or anything, but I could just enjoy this. I'm a human, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But even like how you were saying, like, how he's God driven, whether he puts it explicitly in his music or not.
Yeah.
All the fucking positive affirmations he's put, like, he said that before. He's like, all the music I make, when you listen to it, I'm talking to you. Right. Because I'm talking to myself. Yeah. I want you to believe in yourself.
See, you're taking the quote that I was trying to say. You said that's exactly how he said it.
Directly listening to Kanye made me push myself, and I thought, like, I could do so much shit in my life, like, because I legit believe in myself, because not just because of God, but I'm saying like a lot of faith shit, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, listening to Kanye, it's like a battery for you, bro. I'm like, oh shit, like, this was really putting some fuel in my bag right now.
No, like, for sure. Yeah, I mean, not to mention that, you know, like, he's extremely talented at what he does. So like he makes you feel some shit, you know?
Yeah, bro.
That's what's up. That's
bro,
what's
like
up.
I went to the Yeezus show, bro, and that shit was the best show I've ever seen in my life,
So,
bro.
man, I always wanted to hit that. I never
Bro.
got the chance.
Bro, Kendrick performed. He was an opener, and I forgot Kendrick even performed.
Holy
like after the
shit.
fact, my homie was like, "Damn, dog!" And even Kendrick performed. I was like, "What? I forgot, dog."
Damn.
Like, straight, like, bro, it was the best show I've ever seen. I can still picture it right now, but
Yeah.
but it was a trip, bro. But like, he even had like a Jesus come out, all this. It was sick.
Oh
bro.
yeah, I think I seen that.
It was
I think
very
I seen
artsy,
that, yeah.
you know.
Right.
But
Yeah, like how he wanted to portray his art, right?
yeah, bro. It was fucking like everything he does is like it's to an extent like he's just trying to show you what's possible.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
it's
and also just like pushing the boundaries too, right?
Yeah.
It's funny, like I think he even understands. Like, dude, did you see when he went on Joel Osteen?
No,
He went on Joel Osteen and like, cause I watch Joel Osteen every once in a while and a lot during COVID for show.
Uh-huh.
And he went on Joel Osteen and I was tripping because it was during COVID. And I don't know, man. I just think like it's weird. It almost seems like he's understanding his role. I mean, look, he's all over the place. First of all,
Yeah,
these days I don't know what's going on with him, but I guess what I'm taking from it is like, see, in the Bible, they always have these stories where like they take someone and they like whoever it is, right, to kind of give you, you know, he's like God is making someone do things that doesn't make sense, but so that he can just like be obedient to God, right? And some people might, you know, take that wrong, right? But it's like your journey doesn't have to make sense to people.
Oh, yeah.
Just like how people don't understand him. And for me, I understand that, like, and if Ye understands the same thing, that God is in control of our entire journey, he knows what's happening, he knows what's going on. And so with that being said, it's like whatever moves and steps that he's making, like, it don't make no sense, but it's weird because it's like that's the blind faith that we were taught in the Bible, I feel like, almost.
It's a trip because the way I think of, like, let's say how God works in your life too, right? Like, let's say Kanye specifically, right? Even let's say Kanye fucks up and like he's keep fucking up and going crazy and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe let's say he dies, right? That's gonna be a lesson for everybody who's witnessing this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm taking that as a lesson for me.
Yeah.
And whether Kanye learns it or not in time, right?
Yeah.
To get back to the path he needs to be on or whatever. I don't know, right? God knows, right?
Yeah.
So, but like I just interpret it that way, and even like and
that makes sense.
And this is how I interpret like even life. Like if I make mistakes or I fuck up or I got regrets, whatever, right? Like I have free will.
Yeah.
Like this is how I was talking to you, I think last time about like the video game. Like we all have a path where like we can be successful. Like you can be the best version of yourself, right? And God sets you up. But if you start straying from that path, that's on you.
Right.
God's letting you do what you want, right? Like you're your own person.
Right.
Whatever you do in your life, that's on you. But like there is a path to like greatness and success if you choose that.
Right.
And it's like if you stray away from that, that's on you. But you take what you want. You either learn the lesson or you don't.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree, and you're right, because it's weird. I feel like there might be a lot of conflict with the statement that you said, because some people are starting off life in a worse situation than others, right? And like no one else's situation is the same as someone else's, right? So it's hard, because that statement, people might be like, well, you don't know my life, type of thing, and they're right, we don't, you know what I mean? And so, and the reason why I bring that up is because this next thing I wanted to talk about was like, because you're right, I do think we can be proactive about our future, right? And like you said, he has this journey lined up for us if we want to take it. It's up to us, right? But it sucks because I can't help but feel that there's some people that, like, just through the shit that they've gone through, they don't have that choice, or they don't understand they have it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, in sometimes maybe they might realize it too late, and I feel like it sucks, you know. And it's like, who are they to start at a worse situation than me? You get what I'm saying? It's hard because, look, dude, I was just listening to this podcast earlier today, and there's these two guys from Fresh and Fit, and they're basically trying to redefine men and women's mentality on dating and this and that, and whose role plays what and this and that. They're very, very intelligent men from Fresh and Fit. Very informative podcast. But they jumped on Mike Rashid's podcast, who's like a gym guy, but he's like an entrepreneur for sure. Like, he does a bunch of shit. He has his own podcast. And Mike Rashid grew up with women, and so everything that these guys are saying on his podcast, he's kind of like combating with like great arguments. And I thought these guys wouldn't be able to recover, but like they do. They're doing the research. And see, Mike Rashid's a little older than them. He's like, I think late 30s, 40s. I honestly don't know, but he's for sure older than these guys. And what he was saying was like, I've never had these issues. I never had this. I never had that. Like, I don't have, the issues. Like, I feel that you could just do this and do this. But see, he's coming from a perspective where he started very young when it came to working out, right? And then on top of that, he had a lot of like natural alpha male masculine traits naturally, right? And so he's going about these topics with these guys in a way where like he doesn't even understand them because he's never been through the hardships that they've been through with women. And so they were saying like, yeah, but we're talking about the typical guy. We're not talking about Mike Rashid. You've been buff since you were like 15 years old. We understand that, you're an entrepreneur and you did this and this and that. Not everybody's driven that way. You know what I mean? Not everybody has those genetic gifts. And like, I don't want to take anything from Mike Rashid because he worked for everything he has. He deserves everything he has. But it makes me wonder, like, does anyone have an excuse not to be where Mike Rashid's at? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe our definition of happiness, maybe we're getting it confused with somebody else's definition of that. And maybe that's why they feel like they're coming up short because they're comparing. I don't know. There might be a lot of scenarios, right?
How we were chopping it up earlier. She's just like comparing. You know what I mean? Like, I hate. I don't like comparing myself to anybody. Yeah. Period.
I think you were saying you maybe felt victim of that at some point.
Well, yeah. So like, I
think we all do.
Yeah. So it's like if you compare yourself, bro, it's like, first of all, there's only one you. You know what I mean? Like, let's say your podcast, bro. Nobody's doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. From the people that we kick it with or know and shit.
Right.
You're the one putting in the fucking the work in. You're the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's say you compare yourself to Joe Rogan.
Right.
Joe Rogan is fucking Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't work at your own shit, at your own, you know what I mean? You're progressing a shitload.
Right.
So it's like, if you only focus on your own progress, it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Bro.
Yeah. No, and that's facts. And one thing I want to piggyback off that is the fact that the best version of yourself, whatever the fuck that looks like, is always going to feel better than like the best version of someone else's fucking dream.
Yeah.
Example, my parents had great intent by guiding me the way that they did. I bought 2 homes. I own 2 homes right now. They're rented. And for a lot of people, they think that's a great head start. And I would agree. I had a sports car, had this and that. For them, growing up, they had nothing. So me acquiring all these things, they're like, shouldn't you be happy? And I was questioning the same thing. Shouldn't I be? You know what I mean? But I had a conversation with my dad during COVID because I was so fucked up. I was just trying all kinds. I started skating again because like I was like, dude, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm fucked up. And he kind of like sat down with me. He's like, yo, son, like, what the fuck you skating? Like, what's going on? Like, what the hell's happening? You know? And we got to a point where he's like, look, one thing I had to realize is my definition of happiness isn't your definition of happiness. And so, like, mine has a lot to do with what my lifestyle is, and you're not even driven by those things. Yeah. So exactly. For me, I didn't understand why. But he's like, I understand now that your form of happiness isn't mine. So whatever this turns into, whatever the fucking peak of what my life is, it will never look like his life. However, I will be I'm happier just pursuing what I'm pursuing now than when I was, living in those homes and shit. Like now I live in a 1-bedroom with a fucking roommate. So it's like, and I'm happier now than I was. So just as an example to kind of tell people, like, work and worry about your growth, because whatever that is, you're going to be the most happiest there than like trying to like please someone or comparing yourself to someone else's happiness, right? Whatever that looks like.
See, a lot of people think that, let's say, not necessarily your parents, or let's say, oh, if I achieve this, then I'm gonna be happy. But it's like a lot of people end up finding out, like, oh, damn, I'm not even happy now.
Yeah.
Or I put in all this work, and they end up being resentful or regretful, and being like, damn, it didn't even get me what I thought it was gonna get me.
Exactly.
So it's like you have to find what makes you happy, and then just stick to that. Like, if money makes you happy, then all right, you better fucking find a job that you're gonna work fucking, I don't know, 80 hours fucking in a week or some shit. And like, you're gonna make a lot of money, but are you gonna be able to enjoy it? And like, fuck.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, like, just like, even like, let's say me with cars, bro. Everybody I've ever known my whole life, bro.
Yeah.
Guys, obviously, and girls too, bro.
Right.
Oh, my whip, or like, I gotta get a nice car.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about cars, dude. Like, at all, dog.
That's funny.
Like,
I'm just saying it's funny because I fucking love cars. But
no. So this is what I'm saying though. Let's say if I were to compare myself with friends and everybody that's fixing up their whips and like, damn, I got this whip. I'd be like, oh damn, I gotta get a good whip then. I gotta get a nice whip to keep up. I don't give a fuck though.
Right.
So it's like, why am I gonna fake the funk just to fit in to something that's not even? I don't get pleasure out of it. If you get pleasure,
right?
If it's something that makes you happy and you want to dedicate time and money to, then great.
Exactly.
But if I'm putting my money and all this time into it and I'm not even happy, why the fuck? Why am I doing it?
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's the thing. And I think also too, like, reaching that point of accolade where you're like, oh wait, I'm not happy still. I think that's honestly like the first step to being like, okay, maybe this isn't what I thought happiness was, right? Yeah. And so I think that's important for everyone. I think everyone has to go through something like that. However, I just hope people don't get stuck there. They're like, oh, well, I'm not happy here. I thought this was going to bring me happiness. Okay, well, I worked my ass off to get here. Like, what do I do now? And some people like fold, or some people get into other shit, you know what I mean, that they're not supposed to, rather than like, oh, let me go try some new shit.
They just try to fill the void.
Right, on some Gary Vee shit, like try a bunch of different shit, you know, and see what happens. And I've honestly realized like that's the secret, really. You know what I mean? It was weird because like when I was younger, I did like karate, and then I didn't follow through. And I felt so bad about it. And low-key, my parents did make me feel bad about it. Mm-hmm. And now that I realize, like, it just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like growing up, and sometimes, like, you know, it's kind of demonized when we don't follow through with what we set out to do, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, because, I don't know. What's your take on that?
See, like, let's say like that, where, like, if other people are trying to project that onto you, it's like they want the best for you more than likely, you know.
Yeah.
If they see it's not making you happy, or it's not, let's say if you were great at karate and you end up liking it, then great.
Yeah.
If you didn't, then it's like whatever, you know.
Right.
Like my mom, she would tell me, bro, like a lot of times when I was younger, she's like, I always feel bad that I didn't put you in sports and shit like that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about sports. I never give a fuck about. But she had to work like 2-3 jobs at a time sometimes, you know what I mean? So she couldn't take me. So all I would do, bro, is listen to music, bro. Most of the time, I listen. Like I think that's why I fucked up. Like I love music now.
Yeah.
But it's like you find what you end up liking, bro. Mm-hmm. It's funny because, dude, I remember the day I learned how to play like something on piano, or 2 times, bro. Mm-hmm. I remember, like, you know that fucking For Elise. It's like a song.
Okay.
Like, it's like. I'll show you later, but it's just a simple old song.
Right.
But I remember my dad showing my sister how to play. I was like 3 or 4, bro. Mm-hmm. And like on the keyboard, and I was like, damn, that's cool. I remember seeing it.
Right.
And then the second time I ever saw like something on a piano getting played,
and
I remember I was like, oh fuck, that's dope as fuck. I was with Ivani and Gio.
Yeah.
And we're at fucking Lee's baptism or some shit, bro. Like long ass time ago. And fucking this girl, I don't know, a family friend of theirs or something, there was a piano there, and she started playing In the End by Linkin Park on piano. Okay, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you can play that? Like,
that's sick,
like, bro, that showed me, like, regular people could play something that's, like, I listen to.
Right,
you know what I mean? I was like, oh, fuck, that's dope. But it's like, I ended up finding out what I liked early on. And just, like, and I didn't know, you know what I mean? But I was like, oh, fuck, I really like this shit. But it's like, when you find something you like, bro, it's just natural. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, and I was gonna say too, like, with the happiness thing, how you were saying karate and like anything that you want to try to attain or somebody's trying to push on you, right? Yeah. What I try to do, bro, is like, let's say something I'm trying to attain or whatever it is, right? Yeah. When I pray, bro, it's not necessarily like, oh, a lot of people pray like towards Santa Claus or some shit. Right. Like, I have a list and this is what I want from you.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
what I pray for usually is like for other people's happiness, for them to be blessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also pray for opportunities.
Right.
And I say, God, if you grant me an opportunity to do this or to talk to this whatever it is,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
fucking then if you put that in my, you know what I mean, I'll do what I can with that opportunity.
Right.
If you, bro, so many, bro, I can't even tell you how many times I've prayed for just an opportunity, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll get it, and as I'm in it, or I'll even after the fact, I'm like, damn, like thanks God, like you provided this.
Right.
So it's not gonna be like ask for this and I'm gonna get you this. No, it's just
Right.
like, what are you gonna do if you get this?
Got it. Right.
You know
what are you
I mean?
gonna do with the opportunity?
And
right.
even happiness though, it's like if you want to be happy with somebody or you want to get a job or something, it's like I'll pray and be like, okay, God, if you could provide this opportunity,
Yeah.
let me show you. Let me see if I can fucking handle this.
Right.
But a lot of people, and then people get discouraged when they don't get it. Bro, I applied a couple fucking jobs randomly just because I was like, I'm over my shit right now.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck. Like, all right, it's a job, bro. It's a good job.
Right.
I'm not going to be a dumbass and be like, fuck this shit. Like,
right.
But I'm still working out what the fuck I want to do too. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like, I got something back. It was for some other shit. What the fuck was it? For some, I was looking up for some fucking...
The job?
It was a photographer for like crime scenes or some shit.
Okay.
Some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that shit sounds fucking sick.
That sounds
bro.
tight, actually.
And
yeah.
then fucking, I got the email back. I was like, oh, sorry. Like, it said you needed to go to school for it, like for 3 years. I have a degree. I was like, I don't know anybody that goes to get a degree in photography.
Yeah, seriously.
But regardless, in my head, I laughed at it. Not because I was like down or because I was like, what the fuck. I was just like, okay, this isn't what
you're supposed to be at.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, perfect. Next, like,
right,
bro. It's like if people get down on like when situations don't go their way or they expect it to go a certain way.
Right.
It's like don't expect shit.
Yeah.
And just go with the flow and just fucking try to make the best of what the fuck you got at this point in time.
Right. But I think it's easy to think that way when you have a good relationship with God.
Yeah, exactly.
Because y'all communicate literally.
Yeah,
like
bro.
For example, like I'll be driving and I'll have an issue in my life and then I'll solve the issue in my head while I'm driving. To me, that's God talking to me. You know what I'm saying? And so like for me, like I feel like when I understand that my relationship with God is strong, like it's good, when things happen in my life, I don't even question it. Like bad things, I just be like, okay, I know that's not the door. I need to go
for a reason.
Exactly, because my faith with God and the relationship is strong. You know, like we talk on the regular, daily basis.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Throughout the day, you know, and like, I mean, I find comfort in that. And so for me, it works, right? Shit, we're going back to like, for me, it works, and I'm gonna stay doing it, you know. And also like, I'm also happy to extend that because every morning I actually send a prayer out to specific homies who are willing to receive it, you know. And so it's cool to kind of start the day like that too, you know what I mean? Everybody on that same note, whatever it is. But also I just think like the reinforcement of comfort of thinking that way, where you don't get so worked up about things not working out your way or not getting your opportunity. I feel like you can combat all those like feared emotions when your relationship with God is strong. And I mean, for people who don't believe in him, like that's the only thing I lean on when I'm afraid, when I'm worried, or when things I don't understand the outcome, or
sure.
You get what I'm saying. And so
see, like I was telling you earlier, bro, not to get back into that shit, but it's like I don't really chop it up with nobody about like deep shit. Not really.
Right.
You know what I mean? So fucking but the only person I do is God, right?
Yeah.
But in my head, bro, it's a trip because sometimes I'm like, damn, 95% of like I'll be thinking to myself 95% of the time of my life, bro. Not even talking, bro.
Yeah.
Just thinking.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, is that kind of like a crazy person that just because my teacher in 7th grade, I remember him saying this shit that a long time ago. I don't know, it's a quote, but fucking he said, if you talk to God, you're normal, but if God talks to you, you're crazy. Because the Pope is the only one that can talk to God, technically.
Okay.
I think we're learning about the Pope for some reason in 7th grade or some shit.
Right.
And he said that quote, and I was like, damn, that's a trip, because I talk to God and he talks to me. I'm not even saying specifically he's telling me these words.
Exactly.
But it's situations and like certain signs, bro. I'll get signs. I get signs to the point where like, you ever see the butterfly effect?
Yeah.
bro.
That's a good movie.
Fuck yeah.
I want to watch that tonight now.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna see that shit later. But like, bro, it'll be like shit where like there's certain times where I don't do something or I do something because I feel like, oh, this is gonna have a ripple effect like this.
Yeah.
But it's like little shit like that where I'm like, damn, this was a sign. And it's like maybe I could be crazy because see, most people could maybe be like, what the fuck? You think that's a sign or that's a sign? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we were just talking about that, like how like people don't understand the signs that you see, but they're not for them.
Yeah,
they're for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was one specific, like I remember one time, right? Like this is very specific, but I was watching the last episode of the Joe Budden podcast, the old one.
Yeah,
all of them were still together and shit, but they got off Spotify, right? 2 weeks before that, though, I had bumped a song. Because it popped, like, see, like, bro, I could backtrack, fucking pinpoint shit.
Crazy ass memory, yeah.
So fucking, I remember I was looking up some Spider-Man shit because I fuck with Spider-Man heavy. So
yeah, same.
So I was like, fuck yeah, I wanted a shirt from fucking the original movie that came out in 2002.
Oh, okay.
So I looked that up and I was like, oh, I remember this song that was on that soundtrack. So I looked it up and it's by fucking Nickelback, bro.
Oh shit,
no one fucks with Nickelback, but that song I fuck with.
Right.
And fucking it's called Hero. But I remember I even made a whole design for a T-shirt, all this shit, because I thought it was so sick. It was the first line in that song. I was like, that shit sounds hard as fuck.
Right.
I did all this shit. And then 2 weeks later, I'm listening to the Joe Budden podcast, right?
Yeah.
And he bumps a song like to end the podcast with. And it's that song.
Oh, shit.
That song I didn't hear for over 10 years. No one bumps it on the radio. No one bumps it on TV. So my brain... God put that sign, right?
Yeah,
so, hey, check this out. And then, like, I hear it randomly on one of the biggest podcasts at the time, right? Randomly out the blue.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a very specific, highly specific thing.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, okay, not that guy was like, hey, everybody who listens to this podcast, check. But to me, I was like, oh, fuck, that was a little sign you gave me.
Yeah, he watching, he listening,
it's
right?
It's like, oh, you picked that up? Oh, you caught that?
Right.
I could have ignored it or not caught it at all.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So many times, bro, I get signs from random shit. Bro.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's crazy because I've had a moment like that before where I realized, like, oh, God can actually speak to you. This is how I interpreted it, right? And so I was at work one time, and I remember for sure that I was like going through shit, and for me, the way that I thought that I had freedom is through certifications for my job, because I was living paycheck to paycheck because I wasn't getting paid enough when I should have been getting paid more at the job I was at when I lived in Hemet. So I was just living in this giant ass house by myself, living paycheck to paycheck. I couldn't even leave anywhere because I couldn't afford to do anything except go to work, come home. And I signed up for a class, dreading the shit like a motherfucker. And honestly, it's weird. I would always have to get to points where I'm like, okay, I think I'm mentally stable to like finish this class, so fuck it, let's sign up. Yeah. But I was listening to a lot of Eric Thomas at the time, and he said, trust the routine. So I had so now I actually incorporate it differently now with my life. I actually don't listen to Eric Thomas no more. I don't really fuck with him. He kind of got a little funny. I don't know. Okay. I just don't fuck with him no more. But and at the time, so I was like, I was trying to fucking prep for bodybuilding at the time, and then I was going to school, and I was like, I gotta stay busy because I'm fucking depressed, and I gotta like get work. Like, I gotta dig myself out of this hole. I don't know how, but like, I think the going to get more certifications, get paid more, might help. So I started doing that, and I remember like I was still feeling miserable, but I was still doing the routine. I was meal prepping myself at my house and everything, right? And I like barely getting any sleep because I'm studying, and then I'm going to the gym, and then pre-workout keeping me up, all that bullshit, you know what I mean? And so I was at work, and I had just warmed up one of my meals, and I was about to sit down. Right when I was sitting down, I put it on the table and just I didn't put it on all the way, and it like fell off. And it like just landed all over the ground, and it was at the office of like a job where I was working, because they gave me an office in like a Connex, like on my own, like my own personal office. And I was like looking at it, and like I was so frustrated because it was already like weeks of just like pushing through the tiredness and the depression, you know. And like when I saw it on the ground, like I was just so frustrated, like I wanted to cry, you know, because I'm like, dude, I'm fucking trying my fucking best.
Nothing's working.
And this happened. Yeah, I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking this. And I just like sat there in my office for a minute, and I'm just looking at the fucking food, and I'm pissed, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this has to happen. Like I'm trying to understand why this happened. I'm looking at the food. And then the thing that came to me was what I realized was like, for the rest of my life, I'll never have to go hungry.
Damn, that's a good one.
For the rest of my life. And that's what I got from that.
That's dope.
And it's a trip because at the time I told the girl that I was dating the whole situation, and she's looking at me like, how did you get that from that? And I'm like to me it made so much sense, and I was excited to share it with her. And when I'm telling her, like, she doesn't understand, like she don't get it.
Click with them.
Yeah, and so right.
Yeah.
And so like that was just for me, you know what I mean? And like, you know, and then I'm like, oh, okay, so that's how we communicate, like that. I get it, you know.
See, just today, bro, like I was leaving work, right? I want to get the fuck out of there and shit, and fucking I leave, I dip out quick, and then I'm going down the escalator and shit, and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot my keys. I used to, like, little shit like that would get me fucking mad. I'm like, fuck, now I'm gonna be in traffic longer. Now I'm gonna be all this bullshit.
Right.
All this bullshit, right? And then fucking, but over these last couple months, bro, I don't know how. I forgot what specifically, like, changed, like, clicked for me. But for some time now, though, like, whenever some bullshit happens or whatever it may be, bro, let's say you just forgot something. Let's say you leave home and you forgot your wallet, right? Now you gotta take another 30 minutes, right? Now the way I see it now, bro, is like, okay, that's just God saving me from something else.
Right.
So, okay. Oh, for sure. So then I was like, as I was going back up, I started to get. I was like, oh, why you tripping? Like, I don't got to rush to nothing.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck is traffic gonna do to me? Like, nothing.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Why am I tripping? Like, just go back up and get your shit and fucking go back down.
Yeah.
Why you're tripping on keys?
Right.
That's the biggest.
That's gonna ruin your day. Right.
I try not to let little shit like that, or like the food shit too, like whatever it may be, bro. Like, let's say sometimes I'm hungry or whatever. It's like, well, at least I could afford to buy something.
Right. Exactly. Like, no matter what, at any moment in time ever, no matter what, I know that I can buy food.
Bro, I know for a fact I could survive off 2 weeks off $100 or less.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to fucking take the bus to work, which is only like a mile away. It was only like a mile away from me, and fucking I would have to take the bus because if I walked it would take 30 minutes, right? But I'd be sweating by the time I get to work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck that, and I'd post up at the bus stop an hour before even work started.
Yeah.
To pay, bro, I would pay with quarters, bro. I'd look for quarters and shit.
Yeah.
And fucking, I didn't give a fuck though. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna post up here. I'm gonna read my book, whatever the fuck, listen to my music, whatever.
Yeah.
And it takes me 2 mines to get there on the bus, right?
Yeah.
I just whatever though. And fucking, but every time I would do that, bro. Every time, bro, I was on the bus. Anytime, I would always think, well, one day I'm gonna have a car though. Like, that's all I could think about.
Right.
Like, I'm not tripping. Like, I would see it as an experience to enjoy and be like, soak it in now, because you got to remember this shit. As God's telling me a lesson. That's how I took it. Like, hey, check yourself. Like, realize that this isn't forever.
Right.
And you're putting in the work. So if you believe, then don't trip.
It'll work out.
Bro, I remember once I was late for my final at college, bro.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on the bus. And it was in the morning and shit. I was like, fuck. And then I wake up and there's no one else on the bus. And this was just the driver. He's like, hey, bro, I already left everybody. I'm heading back. Oh. And I was like, oh, fuck. Can you just drop me off here? My bad. Like, hey, can you just drop me off here? He's like, yeah, go. And fucking, I was like, how the fuck am I going to find a bus stop to take me to school now? And it's my final that day, that morning, right? And I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I hit up my homie who was in that class. I don't even remember this homie's name, unfortunately, but I had his number.
Shout out to that homie.
Yeah, and fucking, I was like, hey, dog, I just fucking fell asleep on the bus, and like, you think you can scoop me up right quick? He's like, yeah, dog, I got you right now. Where you at?
Yeah.
Luckily, another bus came through and it said State College, which was to my school, whatever, right?
Yeah.
To fucking Fullerton. And I was like, oh, you know what, doggy? Like, I'm good. I'm actually good. So that was God. Another thing, right? I was like, oh, he got me. Like, why you tripping? I got you.
Right.
I was like, oh, fuck, I made it on time and everything.
Yeah,
bro. Fuck. Like,
that's a trip.
Just... Bro, so many
little
random
things.
shits where just I've been saved.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, and it's crazy because like I got like a whole fucking life one on it. So speaking of running late, right? So God knows that the job that I work in right now, like I'm not passionate about it. But I don't know if you know, I was actually talking to Brittany about it, but like we were talking about just recently what is it, 10,000 hours you master something or something like that.
Sure.
So technically that's like, I think we did like approximate math and it was like 5 to 6 years, something like that.
I think you're right, yeah.
So right now at my job, I fucking love my job right now. Like, it's so fucking easy. And like, I try to think about like, why didn't I like it before, right? And I think a lot of it has to do with the 10,000 or 100,000 hours. I don't know how many fucking hours it was.
10,000.
Yeah, and so now it's like enjoyable. It's so easy. It's very like second nature. Like, and I don't stress anymore. I don't worry. And I think like I almost like my job now because of it. And I didn't even realize that it might have been because of those 10,000 hour thing idea until we talked about it just recent. But like I said, God knows that it's not my passion, but you know, I'm really enjoying work right now. But when I first started, like, you know, I've had like, you know, from 19 to like 22, 23, very hard times for me emotionally. So I had a lot of shortcomings, you know what I mean? Like, I was always fucking late, you know? And so I never got fired for it. But see, that's a sign for me right there, you know? Because I probably should have got fired. I probably should have got caught up a bunch of times, you know? And sometimes I did, and they still didn't fire me, you know? And even now, like, in the company that I'm at right now, like, you don't really want to fuck up at this company. It's like the best of the inspection world for me. You know what I mean? The best company.
For sure, yeah.
And like, I was fucking up, and there was a lot of things in the office where like people were ganging up on me, and there's a lot of shit happening where like people were going out of their way to sabotage me in the company. And so I was just kind of like, I remember going through that, and I remember running late to work, and I'm just like it's weird. I had like this weird phase where I'm like, look, I want to care so bad, but I fucking hate this job at the, you know, when I was still struggling and stuff. Like, honestly, I would say for the first 5 years I was struggling. So I was struggling all the time, and I was always getting in trouble with people in the office, and I was always seen as like the dude getting in trouble or
having problems and shit.
Yeah, because I wasn't lazy. Like, I'll do my work, I'll do my reports and everything, but like I was starting problems. I would get into it with my dispatch, and like, you know, I just stirred shit up, and not on purpose. I just didn't think, you know, things were going my way. But I also looked at it like, I don't thrive in this environment. Mm-hmm. So it's not for me, you know? So I always looked at it like, whenever I was running late or whenever I was doing, like, I used to be so fucking stressed, bro, so like worried and this and that. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, whatever the outcome of me being late is, like, I gotta have faith that God's gonna take me where I need to go. Because this isn't where I need to go, where I need to be.
If you get fired, then that was part of the plan. Then
exactly.
Let me figure something else.
But see, it sucks. It's hard. It's still hard because I'm running late, so that's on
it's
me.
On you. It's you. But you learn your lesson, or you're gonna learn it the hard way.
Right. You know what I
mean? So,
exactly. But see, and at the end of the day, like, I started coming to a realization where I'm like, bro, I'm gonna do my best to be on time, but I got bad anxiety going to sleep and this and that, because like I was so. And it probably had a little bit to do with the stress at work, but like I was so emotionally unstable that like I was scared for the next day, so I didn't want to go to sleep. So like I would have anxiety at night, so I would stay up late because I don't want the next day to come, you know. And so I'm dealing with all that, and then I'm running late, and then I'm just like, fuck, and it's just this cycle every fucking day. And I'm just like, I got to a point where I'm like, you know, God, you know my struggle, you know my intent, and like, I'm gonna just let you figure this shit out. And I mean, listen, dude, everything's going great right now. And I was even wondering how, like, I don't have control over everyone's idea of me in the office. And I remember, like, it used to bother me because I was trying my best to win them over. And I'm like, you know what, like, I'm gonna just let God deal with it. And I remember I said that I prayed about it on this podcast. And then one day I stayed late in the office doing some paperwork, got to chopping it up with the dispatch, became super cool, and like after that, like, I was smooth sailing. And I'm like, all I had to do, you know what I mean, just
have faith,
just
bro.
Have
it's
faith.
Gonna get better. Like, see that thing too, bro. Like, let's say even before, bro, I used to hate waking up for work.
Yeah.
And just being all the 8 hours.
Yeah.
Be thinking about leaving.
Right.
But now I don't, because I'm like, okay, I'm alive. I got a job. Like, I what changed my mind, bro, is I saw this YouTube channel with a lot of people with disabilities. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say, like, oh, that's how you can be grateful. But it's like,
yeah,
it made me realize, like, damn, there's all these people who can't even get a regular job.
Right.
They can't even drive.
Yeah.
They have to live with the caretaker because they can't even go to the bathroom by themselves. I'm like, you can walk,
right?
Like, I can go work. So I'm like, I have to do this even if I don't like it, because I have the opportunity to.
Right.
When other people would want that opportunity just to live a normal life,
right.
It's like, you know, what do I want to get taken care of and fucking where I can't move and all this shit? Like,
right.
Nah, I want to be functional. I want to be able to do shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and even like fucking how you were saying you hate your job or you hated your job, right? Like, bro, I've always hated school. Always hated school.
Same, bro. Same.
But I've always known I'm good at school. I always took AP classes, honors classes.
Same.
And it's I don't know how I had homies that they literally would be dumb on purpose to look cool.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's the stupidest thing. That's still the stupidest thing to me. I'm like,
right.
So you're gonna fail on purpose to fit in, or whatever?
Right?
I didn't give a fuck. I hung out with everybody, so I didn't give a fuck. No one saw me any type of way.
Right.
But I'm not gonna be a dumbass on purpose.
Yeah.
So fucking, and what I really genuinely think that made me feel that I can do schoolwork or just fucking, I'm a good writer, like fucking essays and shit, fucking easy. I could bullshit an essay on the spot anytime and get an 8, no lie.
Yeah.
Not even.
I feel you.
Like, cause I don't know, my brain's just like it could really fire off quick shit.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of teachers that in those classes I had a teacher that made us write an essay every week. So I was like, that just stayed with me from 8th grade, bro.
Yeah.
But what I really think put that in my brain is my mom telling me I was smart, and me believing that.
Right.
Literally just believe. I feel like a lot of kids would, and it sucks that either a parent or a teacher would be like, you don't understand this, and they make them feel like shit.
Right.
So the rest of their life they feel this subject or this thing like, I don't know that, I'm dumb, or I can't understand that, I won't understand. To me, bro, I don't understand a lot of math shit. Even that shit wasn't my best subject, but I was still in honors and all this shit, but in college I flunked out of all my math classes, but I didn't give a fuck by then.
Yeah.
But to say is that I always believed I was smart. I think that's all you need is not to be like oblivious and like just guess on everything. But if you believe you can do it, there's not. If you believe it, even if somebody's dyslexic and they study, if they believe they can study and fucking finish the shit, they can do it.
Exactly. No, they can for sure.
Yeah. So it's like, damn, it's just all starts with you or the people that put that. My mom put that mentality in my brain, bro. Like, since I was a kid, bro. My mom would always tell me, you can do anything you want. As cheesy as that sounds, like. Damn, I've always believed that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's never been a time where I'm like, nah, bro. I remember I wasn't even gonna apply to any colleges. I was just gonna go to SAC, and fucking my mom was like, why aren't you applying to like? Because I was smart, and then I had AP classes and shit. But I was like, well, I don't do any extracurricular activities. I don't even do sports and shit like that. Not that I wanted to. I'm just saying.
Right.
Usually that's what they look for. You know, you're well run. They fucking my counselor they had to do. They submitted all my shit for me, and I ended up getting to like 2 Cal States, and I was like, oh fuck. I was gonna go to SAC because I was like, well, I'm gonna get FAFSA, and I went to Cal State Fullerton, but I wasn't. Even though I didn't like school, I wasn't gonna waste the opportunity because that's God giving me an opportunity.
Right.
And he's like, hey, you don't even gotta pay for school. I wouldn't be able to afford that shit. I wouldn't even been able to pay for school.
Yeah.
So fucking the fact that I could go to school for free and it was a good school.
Yeah.
Why would I waste the opportunity? That'd be a slap in my mom's face and God's face in my eyes. Right. So I'm like, okay, let me try this shit. Let me fucking do my best then.
Yeah.
And I ended up graduating and shit.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Congrats.
But thanks. But still don't do shit with my degree.
Right.
But regardless,
who knows? Maybe it's not gonna be. It's gonna be. You're gonna use it later. Maybe I don't know.
Not even that. Not even to me, bro. What I took it as is like I fucking learned a lot of shit. That like I wouldn't have. I don't want to go back to school necessarily. I like learning shit. Right. Just finding out shit. I'm always curious, bro. Like even at work, I'll be at work and I'll be like, I'll hear a podcast or something talking about a philosopher or something. I'll look that shit up.
Yeah.
Just because I'm curious. You know what I mean? I don't know how a lot of people aren't curious to learn more.
Yeah, I get that.
About whatever, if you're interested in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm like, what the
I think some people are just driven that way, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I want to know, I feel like learning is not like, because when you say that, I think about like, okay, well, what is he talking about? Obviously you don't like school, but see, I'm the same way, but not about school. You know what I'm saying? So I did want to bring this up because speaking of hating school, do you want to have kids?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so just recently, while I was watching that Fresh and Fit Dudes with Mike Rashid, those guys were kind of making a point that that school is kind of like it's starting to be created more for like women to excel and it's not really made for boys.
Okay.
And so for a lot of different reasons, I'm not going to get into it. You guys go watch that podcast. But Mike Rashid was like, okay, well, that's something that I'm even questioning myself. Like, he's like, I'm even questioning if I even want to let my kids go to school. And I'm like, interesting, let's hear this, because for me it's something that I really strongly believe and something that affected me growing up. And he was saying, I guess school was initially made to create factory workers, right? Yeah.
On time and schedule,
right? And so for me, that's like the first time I ever heard that, and like I never really excelled in school, right? And it's not because I was stupid or anything. It's just I didn't fuck with it. You know what I mean? And so and just recently, I was talking to this guy at my at work. He actually lives in the same city as me, and he was a foreman for the concrete finishers where I was working. And we just got to chopping it up, and he was super chill dude. He's a native. He grew up out here, born out here. And one thing that he mentioned was like, he was gonna be a football player. He's gonna get drafted, all that stuff. And he went to Bishop Beaumont out here at the high school out here. So he was in there, and he was gonna get drafted to. He just needed. I guess he said he just needed to graduate to senior year or something, and then he would have like if he made it to senior year, they would have given him a contract to go to a college.
For sure.
And he said his junior year he just fucked off and fucked it up, and then it just didn't work out.
Wasn't able to.
But it sucks because it makes me like, I was telling him like, I think they should have a different way of like scaling athletes. Because if you're an athlete, you're an athlete. You're not a fucking student. You're an athlete. Like, that's what you excel in, not fucking school. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. People are going to be like, well, I did it, and I'm not a school person. Well, here's the thing. There was exceptional athletes at my school who were on my team that coaches did everything they could to make sure they passed, and they didn't earn it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, first of all, why the fuck are we doing that, right? And then on the flip side of that, it's like, why can't we judge, individuals in other ways rather than school, right? And so what the guy was telling me at work, that foreman, was like, well, basically they want to make sure that you can, that you're not controllable, but like that you're stable, that that you can follow direction, right?
Yeah.
On the field as a athlete. But at the same time, I'm like, can't there be other ways of testing people's character? You know what I mean?
Have you ever? There's a quote by Einstein at the end. He's all like, "Official will always think it's dumb if you tell it can't climb a tree." So it's like there's a little cartoon. It's like a little cartoon. It's like there's a monkey. There's all these animals and shit.
Yeah.
But it's like if you base the test off climbing a tree, well, only the monkey can climb that tree. None of these other animals can. So because they can't, they're dumb then.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Everybody's got different skills, and everybody's got. So it's like.
Knowing that, or go ahead. We were gonna say.
No. I was gonna say, like, even like if I have kids, right? When I have kids, like, even though I think education is important for me, just because I'm curious though.
Yeah.
They're not comfortable, or they hate school, then okay, let's figure out what you do like. Even if it's art, bro. My mom would even push me, like, she would always like give me art supplies, fucking buy me a drum set when I was a little kid, a guitar, like every fucking thing to fucking that she thought I was interested in.
Yeah.
It's like, here, figure it out, like, you check. Like,
yeah.
So like I owe that to my kids to be like how my mom was to me.
Right.
Just whatever you want to do, that's why I think I could do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Because she instilled that in me.
That's what's up.
But I'm not gonna waste an opportunity. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's interesting that you brought that up, because homeboy Foreman's daughter, he's like, bro, she's like 8 years old, and he's like, she's super into anime, and she learned how to draw off YouTube. And he's like, dude, and bro, he's all, check this shit out, bro. Check this shit out. And like, bro, crazy, characters and shit. And I'm like,
an animator maybe.
Right. And I was even telling him, like, that's cool that you starting her early, and you're giving her the supplies,
encouragement,
and like backing her up on it, because it's like, for anyone else, like, oh, I mean, dude, I have a homegirl, shout out homegirl, but she makes, she paints, like, does custom shoes, right, and sells them, and her pops don't support her. Her pops still thinks she goes to college. She dropped out like months ago, and she's making money off the shoes and like trying to get that shit going. And like, it sucks when, like, not only parents but like, athletic directors and just other people, like they're really basing off people's character, like on how you do in school. And I don't think I honestly think it's not accurate. You know what I mean? Because like for me, this YouTube shit, like I do this shit second. Like no one tells me to do this. I do this. This is probably this and the gym might be the only things I've ever done without ever having anyone force me to do it, honestly. And it's like, this is what I excel in.
See,
so why are you
passion?
Right? And why are you gonna compare me as a person to someone who's made for school?
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's fair.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
And then my whole life I gotta grow up thinking that like I'm lesser than because I can't meet someone else what someone else was made for. You get what I mean?
See, I knew somebody who they would always tell me like, oh, like that their parents would always compare them to other people in their lives, like other relatives or other. Why aren't you getting this type of job? Why don't you get a job that earns this type of money? And they had graduated school. They're freaking smart as fuck, and they always felt down about it.
Right.
And I would try to encourage them, like, look, like don't worry about that. Do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to do what they wanted to do, but they always felt guilty or they felt bad if they were to take their own path.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if you feel guilt, like, okay, so you'd rather feel guilty your whole life and go through doing what somebody else wants than doing what you want.
Exactly.
Like, that's not a good life.
Well, see, I mean, and even to paint a more clear picture of that I got from Gary V in my this was like 2014 Gary, because I was like, damn, this guy speaking to me type of shit. And he would say, like, if you allow yourself to be guilted by your parents to do what they want you to do, what's going to happen is for like your whole life, you're going to live this life. And then at the end of it, you're going to resent your parents and you're going to hate them for making you do this. And then you're going to want to start all over and you're already like 60, 50 and you have regrets.
Yeah.
And so he's like, so if you want to go that route, you can, but that's the end result. Yeah. And, or you can just say, listen, this is what I'm going to do. If you don't support me, I'm out. I'm going to do me. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
See, like, even... there's a song by Logic where he has Alan Watts. This was a philosopher, I think, in the 80s and 70s, where he just talked at colleges and stuff. Yeah. But in that little piece that they put of him, he's talking about if you just go to work for money and you don't do something because of your happiness, then let's say your parents, you got to get a job because you got to, get a lot of money to support whatever. It's like, so then you're just going to grow up being like your parents and telling your kids, you better get a good job. So it's like, you didn't even want to do that. And now you're putting that on somebody else.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's why, whether I have kids or not, bro, like I just want you to be happy, whatever that may be. Yeah. Because you're only going to live here one time.
Right.
You only got one shot.
And if you think about it, like, if you got parents that are pushing you to like do some shit that you don't really want to do, like, whoever you are and you're the person that's trying to get pushed, or you're the person that's getting pushed to do something you don't want to do, like, your parents, like, majority of the time, my parents are first generation. I don't know about you.
I'm first generation.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, see, and the thing is like, your parents, or your moms and my parents, like, where they are established right now, it was out of survival. You know what I'm saying? So for us, like, it's like, yo, you equip me. Like you said, you could live off $100 for a week. If I go homeless right now, I could get by
2 weeks. Straight up.
My bad. And and that's the thing. Like, we're educated a little bit more than them, right? And so I understand that I can go anywhere to get a job. You know what I mean?
Just you saying that right now just reminded me, like, my mom would tell me, like, she's like, how English is not her first language, and in her lifetime, bro, she's always leveled up. She earns more than me still, and fucking she's like, so she doesn't say it in a bad way, but she's like, so you obviously could do better than me. So, and
you should be able to, technically, right?
Exactly. And I'm college educated and all this shit, right?
Yeah.
But it's a trip because that's my mom's my biggest inspiration, because I'm like, damn, like, she did so much, like, raising fucking me and my sister by herself, bro. And she still leveled up and everything. And see, it's a trip because, like, we're not rich at all, bro, at all.
Right.
But the thing is, like, she could have been in Mexico still, and my family over there is struggling, bro. But the fact that my mom can support them, that's already a big step up, a blessing, bro.
Hell
so
yeah.
in my eyes, how can I not level up and fucking help out my family eventually?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a trip because like if she was able to do so much with so little,
Yeah.
I owe it to her. That's why I feel like when I went to college and shit, fucking, I'm like, she did so much. She sacrificed, because it's not that she wanted to do this, right? She's not doing what she wants to do technically, right?
Right.
They worked because they had to work.
Yeah.
They had to raise us.
Exactly.
But
survival.
I owe it to her that now I can do anything I want. I'm gonna do anything I want.
Yes.
Because she wasn't able to. So I owe it to her, so I can and hopefully provide reciprocate that back.
But see, and that's the thing. And see, it seems like your mom's pretty chill and open with you doing what you want.
Fuck yeah.
But here's the thing. That same reason, like our parents doing what they had to do to survive, to allow us to do what we want and be comfortable, is the same reason that the same thing that parents used to manipulate us to be like, I did this for you. You don't know what I've been through. Now go do what I want you to do and succeed.
Get a good job.
Exactly. And it sucks because, like, and here's the thing. If you don't stop it there, it'll just be a family curse of, like, doing things and being forced into things that you never want to do. Yeah. And here's the thing. What you're doing by going against that is breaking a family curse.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, and listen, breaking family curses is not a fucking easy thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so you got, I mean, for people that are doing it, it sucks because if you don't do what your parents do, they might shun you. You know what I mean? And so I think it's important for people to understand that if you're going to take it upon yourself to break that family curse, just know it's going to have some resistance. It's going to take some maybe cutting off on some family. You know what I'm saying? And so anybody that's out there that kind of feels that way, I definitely urge them to do it, because it's like, not only are you doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for your future generations.
It's a trip because my mom was the only one from from her side of the family, right? From my mom's side of the family. She's the only one that came over here as an American citizen out of all my Mexican family, right? Yeah. And I don't have any direct bloodline here in the United States. Right. Period. So it's just me, my mom, my sister. Yeah. Right? My cousins are all in Mexico, right? And shit like that. Yeah. And fucking, but my mom told me at 18 she came over here for the first time. She was in the military in Mexico at 17. She made a fake ID to get a better job. Yeah. And she ended up coming here with her best friend, right? And in my head I'm like, damn, that's a trip. Like, see how God works, where he helped my mom get out, helped me get here, gave me this opportunity from everybody, and I don't take that for granted. Yeah. And from my family over there, you know, because this is fucking hard out there, bro. Yeah. And fucking but I'm just like, damn, that's a trip that, like, my mom was able to make it out here. And she even tells me, like, I was able to go to Hawaii, Chicago, New York. I haven't even got all those places, bro. Yeah. She did all that before 24. As an immigrant. Yeah. That's crazy. She wasn't even balling or nothing. So I'm like, I can't afford that shit now. Right. But she was able to do it. So she's like,
finessed it.
She's gone to Paris. I haven't gone to Paris. She's gone to fucking Spain.
Shout out moms and shit.
Yeah, damn. So she's done all this shit, and I'm just like, and I'm still gonna do that. Yeah, I'm like, damn, if she could do that shit, like, I can do that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Me seeing it.
Right, and understanding that, like, God's guiding her too, right?
Oh, for sure,
exactly.
Bro. It's a trip, bro, because we ended up going because we were Catholic, right?
Yeah.
When I was little. And fucking, I remember she had a friend who took us to their church, a Christian church. Right. And fucking, not that matters, nothing like that, but I just remember this story, that how I got to be how I am. Yeah. And fucking, I remember we went to that church, and we went to, like, it was like a kid classroom. That's where the kids went, and then adults went to, like, where they hold service. Yeah. And I liked going to church there because there was an arcade.
Oh, okay.
So I remember telling my mom, like, Mom, we gotta go back. We gotta go. She didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Why you wanted to go back? Yeah.
But she's like, okay, we'll go back and shit. She ended up liking it, but I ended up getting, different messages from God, through teaching and shit, right?
Oh, I see.
And I'm like,
but the initial hook was the fucking arcade.
Dude, they got me. They got, but regardless.
They're like, hey, it's like that's how the Christian churches get them,
bro, I don't know. The kids, I don't know. But I was like, okay, this is dope. But it's crazy because I was growing up and shit. Like, I grew myself, bro. My mom never forced me to go to church. Yeah. I would go with her because I wanted to go. And not even no arcade no more. We went into a different church and they would give service and shit, right? Yeah. But because, bro, my mom had it hard and shit, you know what I mean? But through everything I learned, just like through messages and shit, bro, like, I got so much out of it, you know what I mean? So I had faith early. I remember them asking, we were like they were giving out like coffee and like bread and shit to people, just I think homeless people and stuff on the street. And, you know, giving, like, messages to people that would come up and get stuff, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Trying to help them out and stuff.
Right.
But I remember the guy who was, like, a teacher, he asked me, because he was talking to somebody, right? And then he asked me, he's like, where do you think you're going to go when you die? And I was like, I think I said heaven, right? But I already had that faith, not because, I have this fairy tale, whatever.
Right.
But because in my heart, I'm like, damn, like, I got faith that whatever I do, if I'm trying to be as good of a person, trying to live my life on this path or whatever, if this exists, this is what I believe is going to happen, right?
Right.
But the reason he asked me, I realized after the fact, is because he knew how quick my faith was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not even on no, like, funny shit, like, this kid's going to know. Because he showed this guy. It was a guy who was talking to him, and then he asked me. Because I think the guy was like, nah, I don't think anything.
I see.
Like, he's like, what do you think is going to happen when you die?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to go to heaven, bro. Like,
yeah.
And I remember that same teacher, bro, another time way later, bro. I was like 7 or 8, though, I remember. And he was talking, it was like he was giving out like the bread and the wine, but just for the kids and shit, like Passover or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he's all like, you know what I think, guys? I don't even think this is part of the fucking lessons you're supposed to teach.
Yeah.
Though. He's like, I hope that when I die, I could talk to God. This is what he was telling me. This shit stuck with me. So I hope I could talk to God and ask him, like, can you show me the whole universe? Yeah. I'm like, that sounds so sick. That sounds like a movie.
I know, right? Yeah.
Like, Dad, show me, like, why? Okay, if I could talk, I talk to God right now. So let me see what's up.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't he want to show me?
Right.
I was like, damn, that not sold me, but I was just like, damn, I look forward to that too. Like,
but see, and what's interesting too is like that to me sounds sick. That to you sounds sick. To other people, they're like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But it's weird. You know what's weird is like I feel like people. Okay, like, you ever seen Polar Express the movie?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so like I feel like when you're telling me that makes sense to me. But it's because I have faith. I believe. I understand what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like, but what you're saying is like, some people might not understand.
Some people might take it as like that's too. It's like, too candy. It's too like it's sugar. Like, come on,
it's too
realistic.
Right.
That's
exactly.
not gonna have like if you're thinking that this is it's even crazier because like if people, let's say they doubt, right? They say, okay, go for it. That's on you,
right.
If you want to live your whole life doubting and being down and like thinking that that's
negatively
on you.
or yeah,
but that's gonna be on them eventually.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Damn, dude, we chopping it up.
But even that same teacher, bro, like just thinking that, like I was like, it just shows me what's possible. Even like aliens, bro. I've talked about like I believe in aliens. I believed in them since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And when people, even in the church, bro, and a lot of people doubt, like, nah, it's only us or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But in my point of view, I'm like, okay, God created the universe, right? Mm-hmm. So He could create them too. Mm-hmm. So what's to say that He didn't create them?
That's how I see it too. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you could be tripping. Like people like, nah, if you believe in aliens, that means you don't believe in God. I'm like, that sounds that
doesn't make sense to me because I would think the same. Yeah.
He created everything.
Exactly, the universe.
And I forgot where I heard this. But it's like, okay, the sun's where the sun's at, and the earth's where the earth's at, and we're all here, right?
Yeah.
It's like everything's aligned too perfectly.
Yeah. For us to survive
and to be random.
Right.
Like I don't believe that shit's random, bro.
I agree.
And it's like there was another thing I had learned about. It's some way of thought or whatever, some theology or some shit. Mm-hmm. But they describe God as a watchmaker, which if a watchmaker makes a watch, right, he makes sure it works, it starts ticking and everything. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's good for life. I don't got to deal with it no more. The watches, everything works. So some people interpret that's God, like He made the whole universe and He just walked. All right, I'm good. Like,
I see.
And that even if that's the case, even if that were the case, and he's a watchmaker, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's still a creator.
Right.
There still had to be something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, there's so many ways that people could misinterpret it or just shoot it down.
Right.
But in my eyes, I'm like, well, that still just means that there's something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Einstein said energy never dies, bro. Like, and it's like E equals MC squared. Like, whatever it is, like fucking, if you shoot a gun and it turns into whatever that flame, right?
Yeah.
There was no flame before that, but it caused equal and opposite reaction.
Right.
It's like even Ab-Soul, bro, talks about like when you die, bro, which Einstein said, I think too. When you die, if you're sitting on this table and it says your weight, right?
Yeah.
And you die, your last breath goes out of you. Mm-hmm. 22 grams, I believe it is, also leave your body weight. How if you're still here?
Right.
You're still here.
I heard about that.
And it's like, I believe that's your spirit.
Right.
Even Steve-O put me onto some shit that I was like, damn. I don't even think he believes in God, but he talks about being like, we as humans, he sees this as like, let's say a receiver, a DVR, whatever, a cable receiver.
Right.
He's like, so right now, if you're alive, you're still the receiver. You're receiving the signal. You're alive, right? And if you die, okay, if that receiver breaks, does that mean that signal no longer exists?
Right.
Well, that signal's still gonna be somewhere.
Well,
so
that's a trip.
It just changes. I was
yeah.
like, yeah,
That's crazy. That is fucking crazy. I hadn't thought about it like that.
So I'm like, everybody's just your human body, bro. Is just for right now.
Right.
That's what I think.
No, I agree. And I mean, those things kind of help me solidify and kind of just maybe even feel more comfortable about the fact of what happens, because it's weird, man. I as much faith, and maybe I'm just not ready to accept it yet. Like, that's just my timeline, but I'm nervous about what happens after. I am. You know what I mean? I'm nervous about it. Like, I worry about it sometimes, but just talking to you about like the Nipsey sitch, kind of, it makes sense. I just feel like I guess all we can worry about is what we're doing right now. As long as we're doing some shit right now.
Yeah, bro. Just focus on yourself right now and just try. Well, I think try to be a good person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Just
while
help
you're
out
here,
who you can.
Definitely. I wanted to ask you a question. So before, when we popped the question about you coming on, you didn't want to come on.
Well,
so I want to know what made you want to come on.
You know why? Because Ivani would always be like, "Hey, talk about this, talk about that."
Yeah, I know he's always wanting you to talk about what he wants.
Or certain things.
Yeah,
whatever I do, or the other shit we're talking about, right? But,
yeah.
I don't really like talking about myself like that, or just my personal shit like that. But like God is like, that's something that's like, I think it's like a good thing, whether you believe or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I agree.
I don't even know why, bro. But like, I hit you up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dog, have you guys talked about this?
Yeah.
Like, nah, I wrote through this stuff. So it's like, I've even talked to him about that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like,
to me, that was something that was like out of nowhere. But like for me, I was kind of like, I was hyped on it because, as you know, like, I mean, Evo's taking a break right now, and I kind of want to make it a little bit of a point that this isn't going to stop no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
And that's no shots. I'm not taking shots or anything, but like, I'm praying on it, and like I told you, like, I don't want him to be in this situation. I don't want to be in this situation. I just want to be cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't want to fucking punish people. I don't want to do that shit, But while he's out, I got to keep pushing and making the best shit I can make. And when you hit me up around the time where I'm like, can I even do this? Like, you kind of actually gave me like, okay, God sending me some.
And that's a trip because you didn't tell me nothing. I didn't know anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, bro. See, that's God again,
exactly.
bro. That's why I'm saying. Hey, dog, link up.
That's what I'm saying. And then I was like, would he even be down if like Evo wasn't here? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let God decide if he's gonna be down or not. And I just asked you, like, yo, you down? And you're like, I'm with it. I was
and
like,
you know why too? Because I was like, it's not even necessary if he's here or not. Because we've chopped it up about that too.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
like,
for sure.
We've chopped it up, but I was like, I liked chopping it up with you last time, and we just chopped it up a bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, this fool, he could talk about this too. Like, he's got ideas on this too. It's not just like, because a lot of times, bro, I'll talk to people, and sometimes I feel like I'm the one just kind of saying shit, and like people
keep listening,
and I don't need anyone to listen,
right?
But it's just because it comes up,
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be genuine about my shit, and this is why I believe what I believe,
and that's the thing, like, it's just part of your life.
Exactly. I'm not ashamed of it. There's a lot of people who are like, nah, I'm fucking like,
right. I mean, and it's like, I would even say there's even people who are ashamed of it that actually go to church too. You know what I'm saying? And like, it was a trip because just recently I went to church actually for the first time last week since so maybe a little over a year. I haven't been to church, but I used to go. I used to try to go every Sunday, and then me and her went. And after, we actually did like a review on the vlog. We just did a review, and I'm just like, this is my life. Like, this is literally, like, I'm not even faking it. Like, this is just who I am, so I'm gonna just vlog it,
See, even I haven't gone to church since I think COVID either. But like, even before I kind of stopped going to church. But the reason why is just because, not that I think my mom's church is bad or nothing. I just fucking I always felt like, you know, like the donations and all that shit. I'm always like, okay, guys, like it's to support the church. I understand.
Right.
But I got to a certain understanding also because I saw something on History Channel and it talks about some, I think they were Dead Sea Scrolls.
Okay.
That they found within the last 100 years or even more recent. But it was basically a chapter. There's a lot of chapters of the Bible that I think it's the Catholic Church that makes the Bible technically for everybody.
Right, yeah.
And they dictate. It doesn't even matter what church makes it or what religion makes it, but this, whatever books are in the Bibles were selected by people, right? Mm-hmm. That they found some old ass, it dates back 2,000 years, weirdly enough, right?
Yeah,
around the time
yeah.
of Jesus,
Right.
And you know, there's Paul, there's John, there's all these books in the Bible, and it's a book by Jesus that he wrote, and that they didn't want to include it in the Bible because it would throw off a lot of shit. And basically, what he says in that thing is basically that the church is not a place. The church is within you. And I've always, when I heard that, and I was like, I've always believed that.
Right.
That it's like, I can talk to God whenever I want, right now.
Right.
I don't gotta be at a church. I could be right here. I could be in my car. I could be my thoughts, bro. Like,
yeah, definitely.
A lot of people think that you have to be like, you know what I mean? Anytime it's like, it's regular for me.
Right. I get it.
A lot of people misinterpret that.
No, for sure. I mean, and I think you're right on that. I mean, and it even goes back to as far as like me kind of questioning Catholicism. Like, I mean, in my rock bottom, I'm kind of like, man, like I want to know what the fuck where I came from or what I even like believe in, right? So I did my research. I went all the way back, and just understood that, like, you know, like the Catholic Church is super corrupt, man. I mean, and the reason why it was created was just to control people. I mean, listen, that's my interpretation of how it was built.
And that's most religions.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So,
correct.
And it's a trip because I think it's Zeitgeist. You ever see that documentary?
What is it?
Zeitgeist. It talks about all this crazy conspiracy shit.
I don't think so, but
see, that's some other shit.
To get into
another day, dog.
Yeah,
I'm into a lot of those shit.
Yeah. But, I got a homie who's been hitting me up like, dude, I want to do conspiracies. So I'll bring them on when you come on.
Oh, for sure.
I'll bring them on. Oh, that's his shit.
The fucking
I think you guys are gonna blow my mind and shit.
There's like, bro, the Catholic Church. There's no knock to the Catholic Church.
Right.
They're the richest organization in the world. Every single Catholic church ever, right here on this block, is gonna have to send money to the Catholic Church in Rome.
Oh, I see.
And they got like gold, everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But at the
balling out.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what was I gonna say about that specifically though? Fuck.
It's all good.
Well, just, you know, all these religions just contribute to like a main source. So it's like,
yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Like, I'd rather see, let's say, the preacher or the pastor that, like, okay, Joel Osteen, right? Mm-hmm. That fool's got a lot of money,
yeah,
bro.
he does.
And if you live like Christ, you're gonna be out on the streets trying to help out the people who need the most help.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm not saying he don't help people at all. I'm not saying, I'm
Right.
not even knocking him. I'm just saying because I don't know, because I'm not in his position.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who am I to judge? Even him, I can't judge nobody. Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say about the Bible right quick. Mm-hmm. Like even the Bible, bro. Like I'll read it. I'll highlight this. I'll highlight it, bro. Like everything that I feel is important, bro. I read it like almost every night.
Oh, what's up?
And fucking and it's crazy because I heard that in the Dom song too. He's like, I think he says every night I read the scriptures or something. I'm gonna have to find it, but
I've been listening to a lot of Dom. He's been speaking to me lately.
Oh, bro, me again. That song right there is fucking like I hear that was like I feel like that's my life. I can see little things. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
But like even the Bible, right? Specifically, like I read it and everything. I don't take it word for word. It's an interpretation, even though some people take it word for word.
Yeah.
But at the end, I've talked to my mom about this, who reads it religiously too.
Yeah.
We'll have little debates, not really debates, but I'll be like, come on, mom, like, why do you think this is this, right? Because I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, who wrote the Bible? Technically, it came from God, but humans wrote the Bible.
Right.
Humans are capable of errors.
And while interpreting, correct.
Exactly, and not even interpret, just whatever, let's say a king at the time, or just agendas, right?
Uh-huh.
So I take it with a grain of salt. I still believe in it. But at the end of the day, humans made this book. Mm-hmm. It wasn't God, literally, who made this book.
Right.
So I'm not going to take this for 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
I will take the messages it relays, and I interpret them how I see it.
Right.
And put them into my life. But that's why I'm like, I can't even say technically I'm Christian, because do I follow the Christian faith to the book, how they see it? Mm-hmm. I don't know. But I know God sees my heart and how I live my life and how I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
To be like, once he judged me, he's gonna judge me.
Yeah.
So okay, I have no fear of him judging me. Mm-hmm. Because I've been doing everything in front of him, bro. You can't hide shit from God if that's what you believe in.
Right,
you can't hide shit from him.
Yeah, no, that's
so
facts.
you just got, like, all your errors, all your mistakes, bro, all your regrets. All you can do is, like, all right, let me pray on this and hope to be better tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I see it.
I agree. And I mean, going back to the church thing, when I went, at the time, it was something that I need. Like, it was weird. Like, we went and see, and even about the Bible thing, when I read the Bible, it's hard for me to interpret what they're trying to say within the story, right? Mm-hmm. So at church, they actually describe it for you. They kind of tell you, and they give you in a different perspective to understand. And I think maybe if I read it more, I maybe would do better at interpreting, right? I guess maybe God would help me understand while reading it. I just never tried it, I guess. But at church, like I said, I feel like when they give me that perspective, obviously it might be his interpretation, right? It might be the priest's interpretation. But for me, it's like I am taking it with a grain of salt as well, because one thing that I learned, I mean, growing up, I was always questioning it. I always thought something didn't make sense as a young kid, because I actually went to the Catholic school down the street right here when I was like in 4th grade. Okay. And 4th grade, 5th grade, and then we used to go to church every Friday. And so, like, there were just things I always questioned. But also, I just think, I was going to say, I just think, like, one thing that I did question a lot was, like, priests are biased. Like, I'll go to confession and tell the priest this one, a sin, and then I'll go to another one and he'll tell me that's fine. So it's hard to kind of...
They're humans.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I'm not so hard on them, because you're right, they're humans, and I feel like I think I'm going to have to do what I can with the information and just apply it to my life the best way that I can. Yeah. And so hearing those readings at church, trust me, I needed it that day. She needed it that day. Like, we were just going off on the review of it, because it was just like something that really touched us at the time. And like, whether it was, accurate or not, it applied to me and it applied to her. And it's like, I'm going to just take it for what it is. And sometimes if it don't apply to me, or if it just sounds outlandish, I'm like, maybe I'm gonna probably step out on this one today. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Whatever. I'm not saying whatever works for you, but it's like, it's technically like when you hear something that connects with you.
Right.
It's like, okay, then take that in and then soak it in.
Exactly.
Like, even reading the Bible, bro. Like, I noticed when I was a little kid, I'd be praying for my food, and I just go on a tangent in my brain, and I'd be like, "Oh fuck, I was praying."
Yeah, right.
Bro, I have like bad, even now, bro. But
no, it happens to me too. Yeah.
Even reading my Bible, bro, I'll be reading it. I'll get to the second page. I'm like, "Fuck, what I read?" I'll read the same 2 pages like 5 times because my mind wanders. But that's why when something connects with me, I highlight it, because I'm like, okay, that should connect it with me. Like, okay, for sure, I'll reread that. And like, I have so many shits like now I can just open up and I can see exactly what I read. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what's up.
It's helpful.
Yeah, you know I mean, it can, and then I feel like that might correlate even to like what you were telling me earlier, like about like journaling and shit. Yeah, you want to talk about that or not?
Well, yeah. Well, I think that's like more like I think it's helpful because you write down your thoughts, or you write down whatever you're going through, whatever the fuck. And
I guess that's way different. Actually, I think I was interpreting that like it was a connection, but I don't think it's connected.
No, it is, because like, let's say how I'm highlighting, right? That's making me reassess it, right?
Yeah,
so if I'm writing down a thought or whatever it is, not only is it going to be there for me to reread, it's not going to just be a thought where I thought of it 1 second and then the next second now I forgot it, and now it's just a thought, or maybe I can misinterpret it later and like or forget about it and not sit with it. And instead, with a journal, bro, you could read it and be like, oh fuck, that's how I was thinking, or this was the state of mind I'm in. Oh shit, this is how I am now. You know what I mean? You can see your progress, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, like that shit, I told my little brother too. I was like, hey bro, I got you a book, bro. You should start writing like whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean necessarily if you're down or what, but it just helps you, bro, because then you reassess yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I was telling you earlier, like that author Ryan Holiday, he talks about like all the greatest people in history seem to have kept a journal.
Right, yeah.
Fucking, he talks
a lot of
about
them for sure.
Philosophers and like generals and fucking just because they're, think about it, they're fucking, they feel as though not that they're judging themselves, but they're holding themselves accountable. You know what I mean? And then not only that, you can learn from them.
Yeah,
you know
exactly. I mean? No, for sure, definitely.
He's the one that I read, and him and Robert Greene. Robert Greene, and they talk about fucking you could learn like two ways, or people learn in different ways, right? Like you could learn by making your mistakes and learning from your mistakes, which everybody does. But you could also learn on the shoulders of giants, which is you could learn from other kings and fucking queens and military leaders, poets, whoever.
Right.
And learn from their mistakes so you don't have to commit them.
Right.
And bro, I've learned so much just like that. I'm like, oh shit, like that shit helped me out in my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like you could take a lot from. They talk about how it's a disservice to yourself if you don't try to read about their lives or about what they went through, because it's like if you could talk to dead people, technically you're hearing the thoughts of other people who came before you,
right.
And it's like if you choose to ignore that, how many people choose to ignore that in their whole lives, or never not even an audio book or hear about a video or let me check out what this person went through, and you're just going based off your experience. That's gonna leave you like a little bit, you know what I mean, when you can expand it so much more,
exactly, by reading their lessons. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's crazy that you said it in that form where you're like, you're doing yourself an injustice, because if anything, they live their life so that like in some way you can probably learn from it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of fucking sense. One book I'm actually listening to right now, an audiobook, is called Power. I don't know if you heard of it.
I was gonna say nah, I haven't.
It's kind of it's a little bit manipulative, but basically it just kind of talks about like old stories of like old times of, you know, different scenarios of real life situations, and it kind of explains to you in a way in how like people make mistakes, how people like
how to maneuver their life.
Yeah, exactly, in a sense. But like, I guess the people that were, so I mean, there's people that suffer from the mistakes, and then people who like kind of like enjoy the fruits of their labor from the good choices that they made. You know what I mean? And it's kind of just like put things into perspective for you. You know,
I'm sure that book or that author, all these authors, even the ones I talk about, they all learn from Machiavelli. You heard that name, right?
Yeah, I heard that name before.
Even Tupac, that was his pseudonym.
Right.
Because Machiavelli, fucking, he was a dude that fucking, he was like, what is it called? Not a tutor, but like, let's just say in your court of a king, right?
Yeah.
And he wrote this book called The Prince, and he gave it to the king at the time. He said, look, I can't get you, and you're a fucking king. I can't give you a gift that you can't get yourself.
Right.
So I'm going to give you all these lessons that you can learn from.
Right.
And it's called The Prince, but he basically, like, he talks about how other kings and princes, they came up, or like,
yeah, that's kind of how that book is.
And it could be, some see it as manipulative type of shit.
Right,
right. Not really, because even though some is, what you take from it is what you take from it. And it could even be like, it could be manipulative at times, but it's like, okay, you could avoid those type of people.
Yeah.
They're trying to use you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And that's like, it's a good, I think they're like good books to kind of maybe like shape your life around almost, you know what I mean? Like they're just like you said, fucking like lessons that will just never die. You can just go back and read, you know. It's a trip.
See, long time ago, bro, there's Adam 22 was doing an interview with Ryan Holiday. That's how I found out about that author.
Oh, for real?
It's an old ass interview, but he talks about the 48 Laws of Power, who wrote
there we go.
Robert Greene wrote.
Yes.
All these fools, they get their shit from that fool too.
Right.
And fucking that book is also like The Prince, and he talks about all these things that other people either failed at or how they got to where they're at. One of the lessons I took a lot from was like talking about like an apprentice, I think. He's like, if you do some work, right, and then your boss or whoever takes credit for it, right?
Yeah.
If you get mad and you're like, what the fuck, I did that shit, give me the credit.
Yeah.
That fool's gonna feel slighted and be like, fuck you.
Right.
Like, nah, I'm gonna take this credit. But if you just accept that shit and maneuver your way through, eventually you're gonna surpass this fool. Or this fool can even help you level up.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing, like it's about like making the right move in the right position, like in the scenarios, making the right decision.
Yeah.
And like that is like a cheat code to life, really, because it's like, how do you go about making the right choice? Because here's the thing, I've heard all my life there's no right way to do anything, right? I mean, but if you have something that can literally tell you, like, listen, if you do it this way, they give you the outcome of both ways or whatever way you want to do it, And it's like literally a lesson in a fucking page, you know? It's
sure.
a trip.
It's giving you a little guide. It's not
exactly a guide.
It's not telling you this is step for step and this is what's going to get you success.
Yeah.
It's like learn from this and then get in where you fit in.
Exactly.
So
or apply it to you the way you understand it.
Yeah. Because let's say none of us are going to be kings and shit, right? That's not applying to us, but what he's saying is like, look, I'm giving you these lessons so you don't make these mistakes.
Right.
I think one of the things he's talking about in that specific book, he's talking about like not many kings end up living a long. They don't end up dying in their bed or surrounded by their families.
Right.
They fucking end up getting killed, or somebody's trying to fucking oppose them, or somebody kills them because they're trying to get to power.
Exactly. It kind of teaches you how to stay in that position too, without getting killed and without getting turned on.
Maneuver stuff.
Exactly.
That fool Ryan Holiday talked just recently. I found out about this fool named Seneca, who was a philosopher. I think it was that fool, and fucking he talks about like just basically like if you maneuver your life a certain way, you're gonna be more successful because you're not fucking he doesn't try to fuck people over, but like other people try, manipulate and stuff.
Right.
It's like just learn from other people. I think he's the one that would like to hear other people argue.
Oh, okay.
Hear the arguments, and even if he go
right.
for it, go ahead and argue me.
Yeah.
He's calm and I'll hear you out, and then eventually that person's gonna feel ridiculous because either they said too much or they don't know where the fuck they're going with their point.
Exactly.
But it's like he's not doing it to make them look like a fool.
Right.
I'm learning from you. Go for it. Let me see what you're presenting, why you're presenting this, and why you feel this way.
Right. Exactly.
At the end of the day, you don't got nothing to present. Then I already know you got nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, for me growing up, I was very fortunate to have a father in my life and guide me literally kind of like a guide in friendships, in relationships. It was a trip. He really like on some. So when I started listening to that book, and then even the 48 Laws of Power and stuff, like it kind of reminds me a little bit about the things that he used to tell me. So if anyone definitely needs a guide, a solid foundation for some like principles, hit those books up. They'll help you out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But that's crazy, man. We are like hour 40 right here, bro. Sheesh. Non-stop, bro. That shit flew.
Hey, Dougie, I told you we just chop it up. Like even before that. Dog.
Yeah, I know. I think we talked like 2 hours before off air.
Yeah, bro. Just fucking random. But
yeah, that's what's up, bro. And listen, bro. I always appreciate whenever you come around, and I feel like it's funny. I feel like we're the ones talking at Evo's house, like just chopping it up, chopping it up, and like it's cool, bro. And like I think I feel like finding someone who's like, I guess you could say as interested in life, or maybe just like I like to say that I'm someone who like wants to find the truth in everything.
For sure.
I mean, that's just the type of person I feel like I am, and I think I was that at a young age, and maybe that's why I question Catholicism and shit, know?
That's why you're good at podcasting, bro, because you're always just trying to figure stuff out. You're hearing people out and be like, okay, why do you think that? Let me hear your side. Like, you're not trying to push your beliefs.
Right.
Like, all right, let me figure it out.
Exactly. I just want to understand shit, you know what I mean? And it's cool because I wasn't thinking like you or how old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. We're the same age?
Yeah, dog.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't know that. Well, I mean, we're the youngest out of, like,
all these fools and
yeah,
shit.
pretty much, yeah.
Bro, I've always been, it's crazy because all my homies.
Oh, we're, like, right on the same level then. We're, like, right there.
All my homies, when I was a little kid, bro, when I was in 8th grade, all my homies were graduating high school.
Oh.
So when I went to freshman year, all these fools already left the school I got into.
Yeah.
So they'd always take me to the parties with them and shit. Like,
okay.
Ivani, they're older than Ivani and shit.
Right. I remember that.
But even like a lot of the shit, I remember 6th grade, I saw like some shit. What was it? I think it was like fucking conspiracy shit. But that even got me like on some shit where I was like, damn, these was like, I learned a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, because they would even talk about that.
So like, I already started, like, since I was a little kid, I already think like this type of shit. Like,
right.
Even seeing signs and shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
it's
shit.
just an interest.
Yeah, bro. Just rant. But see, you too, bro, because we didn't know each other before.
Yeah.
But however you got to how you got to that.
Yeah.
You've already been soaking that up too. That's why when we talk, bro, it was immediately like, oh, we connected, bro.
Why?
It wasn't even on like, like let's warm up to like, let me see how this fool is and shit. Nah, like it was just
easy, yeah,
bro.
And then that's when I popped the question. It was a trip because I actually forgot about how that was like the initial time when we actually started bringing up God, because you were just kind of explaining to me like how your idea of life and things like that, but in a realistic way. And for some reason, I was just like, you believe in God, or do you pray?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I was a trip.
Shit.
But see, like in a way, it's like, to me, when you were explaining that, it just showed me like somebody who's just like trying to figure shit out, you know, like genuinely trying to be proactive about life and just figure shit out. And I'm just like I think, I don't know, man, that drive is just different. And I just had to question it and kind of had a feeling you did, you know, and the fact that you did, I thought that was cool, because you say you incorporate it daily, you know.
See, bro, and even like even everything I said, bro, like I don't claim to know shit.
Right.
This is all that I've
Me
interpreted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've interpreted from my own life and what I've gone through and like what I've taken from stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end, I just heard this shit too recently, and it's like fucking some philosopher.
Yeah.
I think it was fucking Plato or Socrates. He said that he didn't know anything because he doesn't, right?
Yeah,
and he's like, if you claim to know everything, bro, then you can't learn anything,
right?
Because you already know it, then, right?
That makes sense, and that's kind of sounds like a burden, and I don't want either,
exactly.
Right?
So it's like, I want to learn more. I want to see like other people, what they gotta say, and why you think the way you, like how you're saying, you want to find out the truth, or why people came to that truth.
Yeah,
so like,
exactly.
And shit,
yeah, and it's a trip too, because I posted a photo with a caption. It said, we're not experts, we just been through shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it is what it is, you know. And like that's, I feel like, kind of like the vibe it is, you know. We out here just sharing our experiences and like, you know, kind of just starting the conversation, you know. And I think that's like my main shit that I wanted to do. So it is what it is, and I feel like we've been executing that, you know what I mean? See, especially topics like this is my shit right here, you know.
See, I feel like most people don't even, it's crazy because think about how many times, I don't know how deep you get with your homies, but a lot of times, a lot of my friends and shit, they don't get that deep. And that's fine. I'm not trying to get anyone that deep, but if it comes up, I go in deep.
Yeah, I think I learned early on that like it turns people off. So I think I can't, you know, and I would always hold back. But as soon as I see like somebody like give me the like little hint, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go kick it over here with this fool, or like, you know what I mean, or we just stay talking the whole time, you know.
I feel like people get scared.
You think so?
As in scared, as in like I don't want to think too much about that. Even death, bro. I think about death every day on a daily.
Yeah,
like,
kind of. Yeah,
not even exaggerating. Like every hour.
Okay.
But see, it makes me grateful to be alive though.
Exactly.
Because I'll wake up, bro, and I'll be like, damn, I could breathe. Like I could breathe good. Like,
yeah.
Because one day, am I gonna be able to breathe this good?
Right.
Am I gonna be able to walk like this? No, we're getting old and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm being present right now, bro. I'm like, damn, I'm this age. This is the youngest you're ever gonna be.
Right.
Right now.
Right. See, now you just ruined my life. Now I'm gonna just be fucked every day I wake up now.
No, but see, that's why you make the most out of it.
Exactly.
Why you got it.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Because you don't know, bro.
Facts.
No one knows nothing. Even to this morning, bro. Even coming over here, bro, I was like, damn, I could fucking die on the way over there. Not even get to it and shit.
I know, bro. It's a trip. It was weird when you said that. I was like working at like this night shift over in downtown LA at this hospital.
Oh shit, you were working?
Yeah.
At the time when I hit you up?
Oh no! During COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, during COVID, like I was working at this hospital doing night shifts. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And I was working with this inspector who was at the time battling with like a drug addiction. I think he was on speed, right?
Damn.
And I mean, he's a cool guy, very knowledgeable. Fucking
no judgments or nothing.
Yeah, and I remember like we were just like fucking 2 a.m. just waiting for this concrete truck, waiting for the day to start. And he's all like, man, I was driving my motorcycle to the shop to get fixed or to get something checked out, and like on my way back home, I was just thinking like, damn, this could be like the last ride right here. Like I could just, and I was just looking at him like, that's kind of crazy. And he's just like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know why that came about. And I was just like, all right, cool. Like, I mean, it's true,
something in his brain.
Yeah. And I mean, he ended up actually getting sober. Like he took like 2 weeks off, got off the shit. Yeah, he's cool. I don't know where he's at now, but and hopefully he's chilling. But it was just a trip. I like that. I was just we were 2 a.m. I'm just like, the fuck are you talking about right now, bro? Like, you know, all right, whatever. Like, you know, it's just a trip. It was crazy, man.
On that podcast with that author, Ryan Holiday, he talked about it, and I started thinking, because I walk my dog every day, you know?
Yeah.
So fucking, he's all like, whenever you go out and you see a tree, whatever it is, but he says a tree specifically, he's like, if you see a tree, look at it and actually look at it. He's like, touch it, go feel it, inspect how many branches, just look at the color, and act like that's the first time you ever saw a tree. Because he's all, it is. Because think about it. If you, let's say right now, I haven't seen a tree, right?
Right.
I'm not thinking, I don't know. I could visualize it, yeah, but it's like, if you read, he's like, don't take a photo of it.
Yeah.
And when I did that, I was like, damn, this is the first time I ever really inspected a tree.
Right.
I feel like people looked at me weird and shit. Like, this was like touching the tree and shit.
But
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this is dope. Like,
right.
I'm looking at the, bro, I'll be walking my dog, just like, I have music playing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I like fucking just seeing everything. Just fucking the wind, bro. Just fucking cause the clouds, bro. Like,
right.
Little shit like that a lot of people don't even appreciate.
Right.
Bro, I'll be driving, I'll take a photo of the clouds because I'm like, that shit looks dope.
Yeah. Well, and dude, even in my vlogs, like,
you take shit. I remember
you
telling you one time, I was like, dude,
the
I like how you
sunsets?
did the fucking the cities when you were going to LA like a long time ago. I was like, dog, like that shit was sick, just the B-roll and shit.
Right. And see, and like for me, before vlogs, like I cared about that. Like I love the scenic. I love scenic
dope.
shit. You know, like I love sunsets. Like I love it. You know, and like it's something that like stands out to me. Something that I like to kind of cherish at the moment. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck else we really got? You know what I mean? That we can really say that's like beautiful and shit. You know what I mean? So it's just one of my things that I'm definitely into. What is it? What do hipster chicks call it? Fucking a sunset chaser or some shit like that. I don't know.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know, some whack shit. I heard some girl say it. I'm like, whatever. But that's funny, man.
See, I don't know. Just appreciate everything. You know what I mean? Because
definitely
when you realize it, because obviously we're not thinking about that every second of every day. But like, when you see it, bro, like I was like, oh shit, like you do. You know what I mean? That's just a trip, bro. Because I don't know. I can't name 5 people that appreciate shit like that.
Right.
You, okay, myself. Like I'm just saying right now. Yeah, it's like I can't really even think. My mom, possibly, I could say that.
Yeah.
She's taught me
my
that
mom's too.
You know what I mean? Like, she's like, my mom, we went to the beach like just to chill, bro. Like, me and my mom, my sister, a couple weeks ago, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't even get in the water, nothing. We just posted up. I was reading my book and shit. I was just like, that shit's dope.
Chilling. Yeah.
Just taking it in because I was like, one day I'm not gonna have them.
Hell yeah.
Or they're not gonna have me.
Yeah. No facts.
Bro, I was like, you gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy the moment.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah.
Dog.
No facts. It's funny too. I actually brought that up to my roommate Victor the other day. Like he was like standing over there by the window. He was just talking about something. And I was like, dude, I was like, we need to be grateful for like where we're at right now. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, we're, we got this podcast shit going, vlogs are going, and like, we may never like live like this ever again.
Yeah.
Like we may move and just never live together, have that opportunity ever again. Yeah. Move. Like, yeah. And it's just like, we gotta, and it's like, we love our living situation. Honestly, people actually kind of trip out that like we sleep in the same room. It's really big.
I'm sure people are jealous. Man, like no, legit, like jealous as in like these fools can do what they want, and I have to do all this because they don't see life like that.
Right.
I have to do this. I have to do that. It's like, no, you're doing what you can and you're doing what you want.
Yeah, so definitely. And that was always like the narrative that I wanted. Like I just want to just do our shit and like not get held back, not have any resistance either. And then that goes along with friends and girlfriends and all that shit. Like I need to do me, and if they don't support that, whoever it is, including family, like you gotta set that boundary or kind of cut them off if you have to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So it was cool. It was just one of those moments, and he stopped and he was thinking like, "Fuck, you're right." Like, damn, like this might be like one of our cooler moments in our life, And like it's like we're living it. It's just a trip, man. It's just a trip.
At least you get to at least you got to pinch yourself and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, before it's too late,
Exactly, and just thinking back on it and be like, that's why you got to enjoy the moment, bro, and, like, appreciate what you got, why you got it, bro.
Yeah.
And I fucking learned that lesson. Like,
right.
So I was just like, now, bro, I'm just like, you know what? Like, whenever something's going good, I'm taking that shit.
Yo.
For the smallest fucking thing, like a sun. I wake up and I'm going to work, bro. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, man, that's a sick, like, sun right now. Like,
right.
Thanks, God. Like,
Hell
just like, bro, like, people... It may seem selfish or like I'm not the center of the universe, but I'm just saying like, damn, God put that sunset right now or that like cloud right there, and I could enjoy it.
Exactly. That's exactly how I see it too. I see it like that too. Was this your first podcast?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
See, because this was telling me about let's talk about this or let's talk about that. I don't like to talk about myself like that.
Right.
But this is more like not really. I mean, I talk about personal stuff, but it's more so like I feel like this information helped me So if fucking one person's like, oh shit, like,
yeah, same, yeah.
they like, and I got a lot of this information from reading those fools and shit like that, appreciating the moment,
doing your own research, yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, fucking. I mean, some people like Ivani too. I've chopped it. You know, we talked about certain shit. He's like, "Oh, okay, for sure. I see that now too. I see." Well, before a lot of people, not him. I'm just saying, a lot of people were just oblivious.
Right.
Like,
And see, and like, you know, one thing I've realized too, dude, is like, I see like, I mean, no shade. I was gonna say I see girls, but okay. Well, you know what? I've never seen a guy rant on a story. I've never seen a guy rant. I've only seen women rant on stories.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And
I thought you meant like a story, like.
Oh, my bad. I meant like on IG, right?
Okay.
And so I'm like, I'm not on stories to like watch someone talk for like 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm kind of like turned off. And then same thing with like IG, like. I'm on IG as an escape. Like, I'm not trying to read no politics. I'm not trying to read it. That's just how I use my socials, right?
For sure.
So, and then if I want more political shit, I'll jump on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like, I think what we've understood from previous podcasts is the fact that when people click on my episodes, they understand what they're clicking on. Like I'm gonna get ready for like an hour-long discussion about things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like the fact that, you know, I get deep, so do you, but it's like I can't get deep in my friend group. You know what I mean? Like it's never really like that time to do that. Sometimes it feels like
a lot of people with different conversations.
Exactly.
Too, so.
Yeah. So like the fact that we have a stage to do this. And people know based off the title or like what they're gonna expect. Like, dude, it's gonna be a podcast, so I'm gonna get. They're gonna get ready for it and listen to the discussion and learn about something rather than go on a story and I just fucking skip that shit later. I'm not watching you fucking talk for 5 hours. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is the opportunity where we can discuss in depth and have people actually pay attention. So,
and I had even told Ivani last time, I was like, "Oh, we don't even gotta record that shit, dog. Like, actually record it."
Right.
I was like, because I'm not trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't even put myself up anywhere, really. Yeah. But it's also like, let's say a topic like this, right? Let's say we were just chopping it up before, like hours and shit, right?
Yeah.
It's like, a lot of times, a lot of people aren't open to, not even open, but just like, I don't want to hear that right now, whatever. So it's like, that's fine. But when people want to talk about that, then that's cool. But let's say, okay, even before, like, this would get me to come. Yeah. But like, oh, we're just going to be chilling. Like, he literally would tell me, like, just give me and Rob. And it's like 30, not 30, but like 10 people. And that's cool. Group, I'm not trying to fucking dictate what happens or nothing. Yeah. But I'm just like, okay, that's cool. But now it's going to be multiple combos. Everybody's got their mood. Right. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, and let's say a discussion like this, I was like, oh, I'm not going to talk about myself on the other topics that he wanted to talk about. But I was all like, let's say this, if there's 20 heads here, whatever, 10 heads, whatever, I'm not going to expect you or anybody to be more engaged. Right. Because you're very sociable. You're very extroverted, you know? Right. And you guys are very, Ivani and you guys life of the parties, you know? Yeah. I'm not saying I want to be there or nothing. I like to just keep more to myself. Yeah. I see what you're saying. What I mean? And that makes sense. I mean, I've even noticed too, like when we've had conversations at Evo's house, like everyone just checks out, and me and you are still going at it. You know what I mean? And I'm actually used to people checking out. Like when I was like, because when I was younger, like I used to do it a lot, and people are just checked out. Like they don't want to hear that. They don't want to talk about it, which is fine. It's just. It's like when you do find the person that you can do that with, it's like we're all in and shit, you know. And you know what though too, because I've had these type of even line discussions like this with Ivani, with Giovanni, and fucking Lee, right? And all 1-on-1 because maybe they feel as though anybody in any situation, let's say it's a group, and let's say me and you are chopping it up, they might feel like, oh, they're only relating to each other, or like it doesn't apply to me, or it could be like, oh, they don't need me in this conversation, or any type of way. Right, for whatever reason. Yeah, for whatever reason. And it's like, that's not the case, right? Anybody could fucking join in and fucking say what they want. But excuse me, but I feel like most times maybe people feel like, oh, it's not my place to say anything, but that's never the case. And that's why if there's a lot of heads or something, I don't want to make anybody feel like, oh, well, like, if this was good. I feel like sometimes I go too deep and fucking people are going to be like, this fool. Yeah. And I'm not even trying to fucking get anybody. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I'm not trying to be a downer, even though it's not a down situation. I know, right? I know, yeah. I know, but you're right, because you can, it can be a little too strong for some people, and like it can turn them off. That's or some people just want to be in a good mood and party, or whatever the case is. Yeah, or not think about
or not think too much
Exactly.
at the moment, which is and that's what I was and that's what I was saying too, because like whenever I go kick with my homies, like I just want to relax.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Exactly.
I don't want to like talk about a lot of shit all the time, but see, I just think I'm prone to it when someone else is on the same boat.
For sure, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I feel like I can't help it when you show up and
Yeah.
we just start going at it, you know?
Yeah, bro.
But normally, like, in normal friend situation, group situations, it's like we all hang out and that's kind of like our therapy to just like relax and chill and do what we want rather than talk about issues and problems. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and no one wants to get too deep and like fucking let me just bring my issues. And
Right. So that's why one thing that we noticed was like sitting here and having topics. Like
Yeah,
we
exactly.
actually now hear each other and we actually get to the bottom of things that we've been like maybe thinking about or questioning, and maybe like people can learn from it by watching too, you know. But
See, this is the kicking spot too. So you guys all, you know what I mean. So that's
Yeah.
so I understand that too. That's why this fool fucking straight up not tell me the truth, dude. Like he'd be like, "Hey, let's just go." Like I was like, "Ah, fuck, motherfucker!" Like, it's
oh, because
cool.
he lied.
No, multiple times, bro, to get me to come. But see,
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
he's just trying to get me out, bro.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
come through, dog. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fine. But I just
Right.
want to, like how you're saying, I just want to chill.
Mhm.
And I literally told this
Yeah.
fool last time, I was like, "Hey, dog, I'm just trying to chill, dog. If it's just gonna, you know what I mean? Like, and like how when I hit you up, right?
Yeah,
Randomly
yeah.
too, bro. That was random.
Yeah, it was.
And fucking for whatever reason, bro, God, bro, was like, hey,
Yeah, I know.
see, I felt that's why I was like, I don't want to talk about like shit I do, whatever, like that, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
That's more like I don't like myself being the fucking topic,
Right.
I like, and that was more like, I like, hey, so what's up? Like, you gonna bring me up or
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Because we both on the same page on that.
Yeah,
So I was like,
exactly.
Okay, this is not gonna be no fucking like no weird
clout
shit.
thing.
No, not even.
Right.
Oh, exactly,
Yeah,
nothing like that.
yeah.
Exactly, but it's like this is something I believe in.
Right.
So it's like, why wouldn't? And this is
Why
something
not
positive.
share it? Exactly.
That's how I saw it. And I was
Yeah,
like, hey, this
yeah.
would be, I think it's a good topic, bro. So I was like, I don't know if you guys already done it or not.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, bro, through. I was like,
Yeah.
for sure.
And like I think we mention it. I mean, I always mention it.
I know you have. For sure you have. I've heard.
Right. And so, and I was even thinking too, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's heard me like mention it. And I'm like, maybe that's why he feels comfortable asking me,
for
you
sure,
know?
for sure.
And so I was like, but we never got into it. And my homegirl Mallory, the one I was telling about earlier, who's Christian, I've been wanting to get her on. And she actually said she wanted to start her own podcast too. And like, I was hyped about it. But like, she's very like, I guess kind of like us, where like, about her faith, but it doesn't allow it to keep her from living her life and being young.
Okay, for sure.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like she's with the shits basically,
For sure.
and like I've been meaning to get her on, but like I don't know. I mean, maybe just God telling her ain't not yet. You know what I'm saying? Who
For
knows?
whatever reason, God told me like, hey, just hit this phone.
Yeah,
And just-
exactly.
It worked, bro. Just
Yeah,
randomly. So.
definitely. And dude, look, based off the shit how we always talk off air, I always thought it'd be a great idea, you know, and the fact that the way when it happened now, I'm just like, oh, okay, it's just time for it to happen
Yeah,
now.
bro.
So I was like, all right, well, let's do it, let's get it.
And bro, you had even told me like it'd be like in 2 weeks or something, right? And I was like, oh, that's fine, whatever. And then when you hit me up, and I thought about it for a second, right? Not because you said like, hey, I'm just gonna be kicking it alone.
Yeah.
I thought about it for a second because this is what I thought. I was like, damn, God, you really moved this up quick. That's what I thought. And so straight up, I was like, oh shit, you want this ASAP? Okay then. So that's why I hit you back. I was like,
That's
yeah, for sure.
funny, bro.
Straight up, instead of being like, hey, y'all gonna make me wait?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I saw it.
Right,
Oh
right,
no,
right.
that's not no issue. I was like, we can talk about you anytime.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it was weird about how I went about that process because the date that I gave you was the date that I was planning for all of us to be here.
Mhm.
And today I didn't have anyone,
Mhm.
and I was like, I'm gonna just ask him. You know, I'm gonna just ask him, and I was like, it's kind of brewing in my mind. I'm like, that would be sick. And I would be up for it if it was, you know, just us, you know. And like, I think it would have been solid, and it was
Yeah,
fucking
for
an
sure.
also convo. I mean, even off air, I just think it was like, I don't know, it was good, you know.
Oh, bro,
and
I got a lot off that, bro. I told you, I don't chop it up.
Yeah,
not like that.
right.
But I feel comfortable because we were on the same
Yeah.
page, bro.
yeah, and
So
I
it's like-
appreciate you like having that trust, you know
Oh, yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure,
I
for sure.
appreciate it, bro. And that's the thing, like the fact that you feel that I'm genuine, even just through the pod, and like, you know, we talk on, you know, outside of the pod. So it's cool, bro. I appreciate you trusting me with that and
for sure.
making you feel comfortable coming on your first podcast ever.
Yeah, there
you know what I mean? It was a pleasure, bro. Thank you again for coming, man. Hey, we gotta do it again.
Yeah, bro. Hit me up when the other homie comes through for the conspiracy.
All right, hell yeah, we'll do it, man. If you guys made it this far, I really appreciate it. If you guys could please like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, we all really appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later. I know, but I was already fucked up. You know, I already fucked the whole intro.
That was cool. Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah, bro.
Sorry to make you wait.